Looks like a fun time. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Start with something substantial. Don't give us dessert. Give us the main course. Just start with like Cortec, please. Don't start with bullshit ships. Don't start with bullshit ships, please. Don't. Well, thank you so much, Rogue. Thank you, and it's nice to hear your voice, dude. It's still kind of just a dream there. It's still a little bit of a dream. Need a little bit more content. Come on. Give us something. Like, I feel the anticipation. Can you guys feel the anticipation?
Like this before. So there's a question we can ask in an interview.
Oh, very cool,
okay, so
Ro.
tell me
very
what
cool.
You know about building a crowdfunded
Welcome to the PC Nation.
Game.
Cristobal Roberts. Dave. Oh, we're starting off with a little eye candy. Resist. Resist. Okay. Starting off with, okay. I don't know what we're doing here, but I'll watch. Okay. All right. Real life with Game World. Real life with Game World. Real life with Game World. All right. We're designing. We're working on it. We're serious about it.
We build a sci-fi world for people to jump into.
That's right.
And Star Citizen is for people who love science fiction, who love video games.
We're typing.
Who want an uncompromised scale and scope of a game.
Talk about how we're making
as
this.
As ambitious as we want to
we're
be,
merging it.
The gamer guys who we're doing this for are backing us. And so that gives us a really unique opportunity, a very exciting way of making a game and really pushing the boundaries that, you know, most other games can't. It's also a big responsibility. We need to deliver what our backers want.
That's goddamn right.
I personally feel the pressure every single day, but that's also the same pressure that pushes me, as well as the team, to be better every day.
All right, all right.
We've been able to go well beyond anything I've ever imagined. And the fact that we're so directly connected to the community and we can see and react to their feedback in real time is incredible fuel for us. It's an energy that
I know, right?
Developers don't get to experience.
Most of the stuff that we built last year is already in players' hands. They're playing it, they're giving us feedback.
Audio
this
sync.
Instant
this
feedback
audio
is
sync.
Quite rewarding, especially if you've come out of long development cycles.
It means that we can be more sure that what we're creating is good. It is what they want their money to be spent on. It is the game that they want us to build for them. But the scale of that is what's unique and exciting about working at CIG.
Yes, yes. Oh, Ro, I'll be here for the long run,
dude. We have 5 studios around the world.
And you're right, David.
Los Angeles is the headquarters. We have another studio in Austin, Texas. We have our biggest development center, which is in Winslow in the UK, which is just outside Manchester. There's a smaller development studio in Derby. And then we have a studio in Germany, Frankfurt.
It's really important that when people
that was a cool mural on that train tunnel right there.
That are immersive and interesting and exciting, that the environment that they're in has that same vibe, has that same feel. So when you come in and you see, you know, in our commissary, the large render of one aspect of our game, and we have even custom.
I think Chris is back there and they're telling him we have audio sync issues, and he's like,
I want you to come into work and feel like you're already in the environment. So all you're doing is you're helping us build more of it, and you're helping dive deeper into this world.
Austin is by far the best studio. I know that if you went to every other studio, they might say the same thing, but the first thing you notice when you come into the studio, lights are low. We've definitely got that Keep Austin Weird vibe going.
Right, audio, Damon?
In this office alone, I believe we have 18 or 19 different nationalities. Each office has a bit of their own core specialty, but we then also have a mix of things that are similar to help fill out the rest of the team so we can all work as autonomously as we need.
All of this then rolls over into next sprint.
Voltron. That dude's cool who has Voltron on his desk.
We all work together quite a lot. There's rarely a team or meeting that is not across offices.
Okay, so the shots aren't fully locked.
It's gotta be tense. It's gotta be stressful in there.
Exactly which ones they are at the end of the week.
So you can't run a company the size of Cloud Imperium by by micromanaging everyone. So I really look for people that can be on the same creative wavelength.
Did I just hear that right?
Their particular areas.
It's like he's listening to what we're saying on the channel, man.
So most of what I do is actually feedback related. So like over here, this is the general Star Citizen chat, and I just always have this here going to see what people are talking about in game.
Right now, I'm doing some silhouettes, exploring some shapes, just to get a general idea of what this armor could look like.
So this, for example, is one piece of work we've been.
It's very cool. Sometimes I think they watch some of the videos that we do here.
We have to develop the technology to understand how it would crack, where it would crack, how quickly it would heat up, how long it retains the heat.
Currently, I'm trying to edit the motions of this character's hands.
I mean, a lot of us here in the studio.
Oh, dude, he definitely micromanages. That was just to like buff us to make us think he did. He doesn't micromanage, Jeff. He definitely micromanages.
Like anything's possible.
I work with cinematics quite closely, especially for the earlier chapters, because that's where
mining I'm excited about.
Cinematics to establish what this game is about.
Anything industrial, I get really excited about.
People that have clear visions and ownership.
And pirates, of course.
But they're also willing to
pirates
adapt that to the overall vision of the project.
There's things we're trying to do that no one's ever done before.
They have to fix the audio sync, though. It's really looking bad on them right now.
We're trying to push the quality of our game to the top degree. We're trying to push the quality of game development to the top degree. We're trying to push.
We've been getting 30 lately on the stream, Ulti. We've been getting 30, 20 to 30. Hopefully this OCS fixed things for us. I love these serious shots they're doing of Chris, like he's sitting at his screen, you know. Chris, sit here, look serious.
I think the ultimate objective, where we all kind of come together, is delivering this game that we all want to play.
The stability and performance has increased slightly, Ulti, so I will give them that. Slightly, for me at least.
To a level of fidelity and detail.
Uh-oh, he said fidelity. We should play a drinking game. Every time they say fidelity, performance, or optimization.
The team we have to pull it off, and that's what keeps me here today.
From day one, the DNA of the company has been about community engagement, and I think that's the fuel.
Oh, I'm sorry, Colleen.
Helping us build a game of the
Just chill with us. He has to push the frames up by a minimum of 20 frames for people that can't do it. Yes, absolutely, right. And for the people that already have 20 to 30, it needs to bump it up to at least 50 or 60. Visit. Oh, I was reading my own bot's message. By the way, thanks for everybody supporting the channel lately. It's been a really nice thing you guys have been doing here so that I can continue to create content for you guys. Thank you so much.
Gardner.
We want this game so badly. Right, Ro? You're gonna be like one of the dwarfs in the mountains of Lord of the Rings that are gonna be a skeleton. waiting.
CITIZENCON 2948. As you can see, we have grown.
Yeah, right, Tiger?
From the half a dozen or so of us who started it, we have grown to around 500 people.
Where are they talking from?
500 staff across 5 studios.
Oh, we got the delay.
To all of you, the
Look at her strut out there with her red shoes and shit.
And going forward,
she doesn't give a shit. Sandy's like, yeah.
Raise your hand if you are part of an organization here. Yeah, that would be almost everybody.
Plexus Syndicate.
Because
join
we
us.
now have over 50,000 organizations. And we have a new thing this year where we have organization booths. So if you are not part of one, or maybe you're thinking of switching, or
it's so good to see you, man. I miss you, bro. I hope everything's going okay for you, man. I sent you a message because I was worried about you.
Go check them out.
I literally worry that I will die before I get to places, David.
Is it up there? No. Schedule.
Sync sound is only for paying watchers, says Tiger. No, they're having issues too, actually, Tiger. Everybody's having issues right now.
Here to do the panels, which should be fun, discussing fun topics. And Big Benny's is here. Yes.
Oh my God, this fascination with the Benny's noodles. Let's stop with the Benny's noodles, people.
So if you want to get some food, go grab that. Or there are
this
other
noodle
food trucks
fascination.
As well. And if you spill on yourself, there is a merch booth for exclusive merch. T-shirts and other exclusive merch. And of course, thank you to our sponsors. We would not be here without them. And to the
no, actually, people are still having issues, even those that actually paid for. But it's all free now. It's all free.
In the world of Star Citizen, our sponsor this year is Drake Interplanetary, predominantly, as well as other sponsors who all have cool booths to check out. And you guys.
Hey, Kelly, welcome to the stream. Good to see you.
There's a Drake virtual training facility running. So go
welcome to the
Nerd
Convention, Kelly.
As well as the new flight model. There's a photo
with our cool internet spaceships.
Life-size dragonfly out the front. A Drake's Serenity
This is our
Lounge
spokeswoman, Sandy, here.
Premium ticket holders out the front. There's a mocap area.
Jeff says, I'm glad
for the
she kept it classy.
Where they're doing an in-game emote, directing the professional actors. And there's also a fun scavenger hunt throughout the day for everybody that Eric will be giving you the questions to. So there's lots to do, but before I go,
I know you do, Kelly.
Would like to share something with you.
Just pretty much Sandy talking right now, DY. You haven't missed too much, dude. We're hoping for them talking about core tech and not about the eye candy and the bullshit. We want to see some core tech talk. We also want to see the audio synced up correctly. That would be nice. Sync the audio. I'm glad they are not doing close-ups on her. She did some whitener. Nori, I am not even kidding you. If you look at the last episode on my channel, where we're talking here with our fans, she actually whitened up that one particular spot. I am not even kidding you. Oh boy, I got a phone call. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh no, I can't take this right now. I can't take a call right now. I have to watch this. It's my mother. Sorry, Mom. Okay. All right. Kelly. Not you two. Ooh, okay. Okay, we're talking about space now. We're talking about places to go. Things we can go to. Yes. All right. Just talk about the areas we can go to.
You can stop right there. This claim is ours.
The little machinima.
It's easy for you.
Little machinima.
Or we'll kill you. I'm happy either way.
Ah, Prospector Miner, you better watch out, dude.
The time has come.
Okay, Blaine, I will in a second.
For something new.
After this.
Something to change the game. When seeking fortunes at the fringes
Are they doing
of
a ship?
You need someone you can trust. In this age of uncertainty, it's time to take back your strength. It's time to release the Kraken. Drake Interplanetary. We got your back.
And it's like froze and shit too. Look at that. They're having such sync issues. Let's go to the site that Blaine has here and see if we can pull it up here.
Please welcome Chris Roberts.
Here we go. Let's try it here, guys.
That's actually kind of a hard video to follow, but we're going to try our best. It's a lot of fun. So welcome to Austin. I think we had our very first CitizenCon
All right,
here,
thank you, Blaine.
back in 2013.
Thank you,
Blaine.
Blaine.
It's great to be back. It's a little larger venue than we were before, and we've got a lot more things on. But it's great to have you all here, and
they started with the ship. They started with the Kraken.
And show today. So for you guys,
we had to go to their Twitch channel in order to get perfect sync because their site wasn't doing it correctly.
Normally, what we do is we show some technology we're working on that in the future you guys are going to get to enjoy.
He's sweating a little bit.
We prototype some gameplay that's going to come in a year or two's time, like we did with in 2017 with Gamescom and CitizenCon.
They started with the ship, guys.
This year we made a decision quite a while ago to focus on actual gameplay content. Our original goal was to have the mission that we're going to show you now be live on the day. Obviously, the OCS and 3.3 is taking a little longer, so But the mission that we are going to play and show and walk you through is a mission that you'll all be able to play in 3.3 once Lawville and Hurston's in. All the stuff's in there, warts and all.
When?
It's not faked. It's actually proper gameplay. It's not scripted. This is a mission that can happen in various different locations. And
I'm not quite sure about that, Chris. I'm not quite sure about that.
It's really cool because it's going to be content you guys are going to be enjoying in the very near future. As soon as we get 3.3 out of PTU and into live, and then we're releasing the Hurston Lawville aspects, so it'll be good. So I'm going to bring Todd Pappy, our live director, to the stage.
Hey, Arcane, welcome to the stream, dude. Enjoy with us. Sit down and relax. Get yourself some food and some drink, and let's listen. Let's listen to what they have to say. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Also, we have Glenn. Where's Glenn? Who you may remember from some of our rituals. And you'll notice he's wearing cowboy boots, just to give... As an Englishman in Texas, he's wearing some
We need more
boots.
clarification,
right? Put him on the wrong side
right,
of the
guys?
jeans, but anyway.
We need more clarification.
Boot up.
Just a little bit more.
But anyway, so do you want to just say something about what we're going to do here in the like it's one of our missions?
It is one of our missions. Basically.
Oh, me too, Tech. Me too, dude.
Beat is that it will you'll see some of
I knew what you meant,
the biomes that we built and on the planet. It will take place on the planet. We're not going to go out in space or anything.
You're just
like
here because you love me, Colleen.
moves.
It's okay.
But it is basically it's real. I mean, that to me is the most exciting part. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm out here.
And I think one of our focuses going forward is focusing on game content in the immediate future, in the current patches, improving the experience, the feel of the game. Even though we're in alpha or pre-alpha, we're really focusing on play experience now and building that up. And so this is one of the steps towards that.
Well, especially getting OCS and the core tech out. Right. You know, that allows us to do what we need to do. So
core tech
booting up real quick.
All right. I like what this guy just said.
Go.
Focusing on the fact that he needs to get the core tech. He's like, well, once we get the core tech out, Chris.
And also one,
who is that
one
dude?
caveat, since you guys know
serious business mode. I like that dude with the red shoes.
Is that it is a 3.3 build, which means potentially it'll be not unlike a Star Citizen demo. There could be a crash in it. You may also see some wonky behavior from AI specifically because it's all about multiplayer syncing. These are all things that we're aware of and working, but we are showing you in 3.3 in the current build with content will be coming with Hurston Lawville.
And net binding or net?
Yeah, so the only thing that we have off on this is the band culling. So this does have asynchronous background mode.
The network band culling.
But we have the band culling off because that's actually the most unstable element of what's currently in the 3.
That's very interesting to hear. The network bind culling is actually the most unstable element.
Level of complexity with multi-threading and the possible issues that can happen and how things get out of sync. So in this, we just have that turned off, which means the performance won't be as good as the Evercaddy are getting with band culling in it. But it's okay, and obviously it's only going to get better. And so bear with us if there's a crash. Hopefully there won't be one. We'll see. We're doing it live.
Yeah.
As someone,
actually, yes.
As someone famously said.
This is.
Well, he does that every CitizenCon, though,
really
Damon. He does that. He does that on every CitizenCon, dude.
Something F this.
You know that, dude. We've done this 3 times in a row now. They aren't even on the same page with one another. That's, you know what? You're right, Jeff. You're right, dude. They kind of aren't on the same page. Dude in the red shoes over here is treating things a little bit more seriously than Chris does. But Chris, I think the reason why he's not on the same page is he's the leader and he's not actually involved with every single aspect of it. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a break on that.
Those two need to go in.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Because we're doing this as a multiplayer, so some friends can join us. So we're just waiting for the last 2 people to join.
These moments kill Chris. I've seen this so many times before where they're waiting for the demo or whatever it is they're trying to start and they're having issues. These types of moments always make Chris sweat, dude. And I don't know what it is, but I have this weird fascination where I love watching him, like, just sweat. Like he's like, oh god, this is overworking. Please get this right. One of these days, I just want to see him like go off like how he does when he's working with these people. Like he's got moments where he's yelling and shit. I just want to see that so bad. Like go, like do it live, do it live.
I guess we should have queued this up before, huh?
Yes.
We should have queued this up before, huh?
Wasn't that the 15-minute wait thing that we had?
I hope not.
No, but I'm just saying that we said we were doing 15 minutes before.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Oh boy, we got our first problem here. We got our first problem. Oh my god, wasn't that the thing that we said before? Chris said, oh my god, the drama. Oh my god, the drama. Oh my god, the drama. That's so funny. Chris was saying to this dude, wasn't that the thing I was telling you before? That this takes 15 minutes to load? What's taking 15 minutes to load? The game doesn't take 15 minutes to load anymore, for God's sake. It's not a competition. Look, now he's gonna start sweating. Now the sweat's starting to come down. Oh, I love that you guys are here with me. What a great day we're gonna have today.
What?
What a great day. Thank you everybody for joining me here today. Let's see. Okay, I hear some music. Is the music part of what they're gonna show us?
Around the corner here, telling Todd something important.
Colleen says this is awkward. Pitchforks and torches, Arcade. Pitchforks and torches, dude. I'm passing them out today here on the games. I can't wait. I'm gonna post a lot of this on YouTube as well, so while you guys are talking, you guys understand that you guys will be on YouTube. You know, try and keep it civil if you guys can. You could totally turn this into a drinking game, Kelly. There's so many aspects about this that could be turned into a drinking game. Now, see, this is not good. This is not good for the game.
And once we get that one in.
He's in. He's in.
First problem early, no delays. Awkward con.
Yeah.
I love watching. I love your guys' comments.
Good,
I love your guys' comments. Colleen saying hello to the YouTube audience.
Can we switch to player one, please?
I'm me of the future.
There we are.
All right. That wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad.
All right. So
I saw hats flying around. All right.
In our hub in Lawville.
Very cool.
The first planet that is a fully formed planet with a proper landing zone.
Very cool.
The goal is to have what we call the habitation system.
I like these little habitation modules.
Persistence.
Yeah, we have seen much worse, Tiger. You're absolutely right.
You can earn money, move your way up, upgrade to bigger, better places, get a penthouse.
Kelly.
Get real estate on different locations.
Nerd riot.
And a longer-term goal with the hubs. I think in 3.3, the hub system is going to be not.
That's how my body's starting to look, very ripped, getting in shape.
What we have currently in 3.2, except for there will be persistence when you're in the session, so you can go back to your hub and through of it. But our long-term plan is you have a dedicated hub that is actually a unique location you can go to.
I like that.
Every player has a different one.
Every person is going to have a different habitation module. That is very cool.
Which you will see in a little bit.
And obviously, depending on when you get into that,
I want these habitation modules to be custom. Very important to have a very immersive kind of experience.
To your house, yes, exactly. And you'll sort of see the scale when we get out to the city. So let's wake up, Glenn. We'll get up.
I want to be able to do a lot to my habitation module. Anywhere I'm living, anywhere I go, I want to be able to really interact with the things in the room. It's very important.
Glenn, and this will be a personal choice. You can have a messy hab,
yes,
or a tidy hab. It'll be completely up to you how you want to.
I don't want these pre-scripted like habs that like I just choose one or the other and it looks a certain way. I want to actually be able to actually interact more with the areas that I inhabit, and also with the ship. I want things.
This is actually going to be showing off our.
That's cool. Got some coffee. Making some coffee.
This is a more in-depth interaction system.
Eating and drinking will actually mean something in the game, by the way.
We want you to pick up.
We fought for that.
We want you to interact with the world and be able to look around and hunt for clues and those
exactly, Kelly. We're all happy about coffee.
Go ahead and get your coffee.
Right, so yeah, we have a cup of coffee. We have the interaction system where we can
inspect it.
Look at all items, so you'll be able to.
It's very cool. It's like fluid in the cup.
You'll be able to look at your weapons, look at objects you pick up, and the long-term goal is pretty much most
They have it set as kind of like buffs right now, Arcane. I think they'll develop it into something a little bit more serious. Personally, I think they will.
You can store them in your hab. And we're also not in 3.3, but we're going to be expanding the player status system. We already have the stamina that happens, and you need oxygen. But you know, we're not going to go full core like survival or hard sim, but you are going to occasionally need to drink some liquids, or eat some food,
or breathe.
Or breathe, and it's really just resource management, not any different than you would have resource management for your ship that needs fuel and.
So for your own body, you'll need to occasionally eat and drink.
Cup of Joe in the morning.
So they're going to treat it very lightly, very casually, as far as eating and drinking. It sounds like,
and so
at least
some of the things we have in the hab here are also to play with early in 3.3, but we'll actually have more gameplay. And
that was actually very interesting information, though,
placing
Damon.
And putting stuff around.
Because people are wondering how involved they're going to get with the mechanics when it comes to eating and drinking.
In the hangars where you had to put it on certain spots, you can place items anywhere you want, pick them up from crouching. So there's a lot more interactive ability and tactileness. No!
No!
Never done it there. All right, well. Is that the GPU crash again? Is it the GPU crash?
GPU.
Oh.
Let's see what it is.
No.
What is it?
Oh my God! What a nightmare. What a nightmare.
Okay, that's a skeleton bounding box going out of. All right, we have to start. Sorry, I'm start again. We haven't actually ever seen that crash.
No.
Before that
we've seen other ones.
We have a GPU crash that we've been seeing, but we've never seen that one before. So
we need to respin the server and then get the players back in.
Yeah. When's Evo up? That's Evo.
Windows Media Player crash. Hey, Joker.
Okay, so let's spin this up. Sorry about that.
Perfect, Joker. Perfect timing, bro. Welcome to the stream, man.
Commercial again. Do oh, we're doing it.
It's worth seeing.
Joker, that was a perfect entrance, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Let's watch some pretty imagery while we do that. You can never accuse us of not.
Well, they're showing the habitation modules right now, dude, and it looked really interesting before it crashed. They've had 2 issues so far. Every crash will take a shot, bro. I'm doing great, Mosquito. Welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome to the stream, man. Good to have you here. It's a nice family day. Everybody's enjoying some Star Citizen here on our stream.
Can't give you commentary. How long was it? Okay.
Are they starting it again? They're starting this whole thing again? Wow. Could this be like a Windows Media thing? I feel like this shouldn't be tied to the actual gameplay. Well, at least this time the audio's synced.
This claim is ours. I'll make this easy for you. Leave now, or we kill you. I'm happy either way.
I think that this whole thing was actually like a tied-in media event. Like, man, I don't even think that what they were doing was necessarily gameplay. It was recorded gameplay. Here we go again.
The time has come for something new.
All right, I'm gonna mute it for a moment. I'm gonna talk here, guys, because we've already seen this. And one of my things is I'm a little bit upset because they did start off right here with the Kraken, and you know, it is a cool looking ship, granted. But like we were talking about how we didn't want to see initially, we didn't want to see like all the eye candy right up front. We wanted to hear more about the core tech. We wanted to hear about how it's important to them, how it's substantial to them. And so far, we've had 2 issues right now that deal with the fact that the game was having issues right from the very start. They were having issues with it. There was a crash, whether it was like Windows Media Event or not. I'm not even quite sure. It looked as if like this is not really. Like it looked like one big tied-in event. It looked like the gameplay was almost separated from what we saw here. So we're seeing some technical issues from the start. I'm kind of like already a little bit upset just because I'm thinking to myself like, hey, game, content, things to do, you know, and they're starting off with another ship. So, and then they're let's hear it. Let's get back to it. Let's hear what they've got to say here.
By the way, just I was going to call out before, but you couldn't hear me over the speaker. We have a group in the UK now that sort of works on things like that. And a couple of them are former content creators from you guys that are now started to work for us. So it's very cool.
Did you hear that?
That progression where people start as content
creators that are you guys that are now working for them. That's some pretty big news. This is shit I was talking about with the White Knights. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check out my YouTube channel because you should watch that right the hell now because that's actually pretty interesting information. People were saying, ooh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Go check out my channel. Go look at White Knights and Scamerinos. Go check that out. They just confirmed the fact that they have content creators that are working for them now and they're still creating their own independent content. That is a little bit worrisome.
Won't be so important.
What's going on?
But we are
now they're even having stream issues. Like the stream's even starting to shut down. Let me try and refresh it here for you guys. They're having broadcasting issues now, for God's sake. Wow. Wow.
Pull out.
Wow, what is going on over there, for God's sake?
All things game, you can buy bigger places, bigger spaces, more places to store it. But again,
hashtag professional, says Colleen. Let's try at a lower setting, see if they're having like that many issues that we can actually just take the buffer rate down here. No, it's still having issues, for God's sake. Wow, offline. Holy shit. Wow, we've got our third. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Look at the Star Citizen chat go nuts. All right, here we go.
So on the AI side, we'll see more of it we go on, but it's the early days of the AI going about their lives. There's a lot more that's going to come in. We have this usable system, I think we've talked about in the past, that longer term is what allows AI to do everything from playing an arcade game to sweeping the floor, to having a drink,
even allowing the player to do the same thing.
And the player, you can use the same systems and animations.
Thanks everybody for joining us here today on the channel. Having an amazing time with you guys today.
Or location.
I will have to go in about
multiplayer game, if you just rely
40
on
minutes, but I'll put it on this while I'm out to go get my son, and I'll be back to talk, just to give you guys a heads up. So if people are asking,
give locations a sense of life, which is what we're.
So we're walking out of the habitation module.
Go down to the base of L19, and when we look back at it, you'll sort of see it's a tall, sort of upside down bracket.
Oh wow, David, I didn't know that.
Office in the bit of L19, so again, that's where you could drop off or have things delivered. You can sort of see how tall it is up on it, and let's head out.
I think this area holds 100 habs.
Yeah, so each building holds 100 habs.
Yeah.
So as more players come online, and they would start in.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually have
each building holds 100 habitation modules.
So here we are. We're out here. This is looking out at the vista onto Lordville.
That's looking sexy. That's looking sexy. All right. All right. That's looking sexy.
And
we have the spaceport across the way.
Yeah, Tessa Spaceport is the main spaceport of Lordville that's coming. And
right.
Can't see if we ship, but there should be.
I love the atmosphere.
Ships coming and going as well.
I love that kind of ruddy, polluted look that it has.
Travel in orbit and coming down, and landing on the pad or taking off. But didn't see any one of them.
It's very Earth, circa 2200, year 2200.
It doesn't always happen on cue because it's not scripted. And here we'll carry on because we're going to show you a little bit of Lawville. And this area is sort of the kind of the L19.
Oh wow, it's it's got a very good feel to it.
This is about selling the security building and the oppression of Hurston towards its workers.
So Hurston's a corporate planet.
It looks like it.
Hurston Corporation owns and runs it.
Right.
So as you see a fair amount of security
around.
A
lot of corporate kind of vibe to it.
They want everyone to do their job and not complain, even if they don't get paid a lot and the air quality is really bad.
I mean, if we can walk around like this, I'll be happy, Damon. As long as there's somewhere new to go to.
They will, stop and do checks on other NPCs, tell you to move on and hurry up. And here we are coming out onto, I think, the main plaza of this particular area.
Tiger, careful.
Right?
No. Yeah, careful. Exactly. Take a breath, though. Take a breath, Tiger. But yes.
So we'll go into the bar.
It's encouraging to see that they put in this kind of work.
I've talked about bars long term being locations you would go to get some gossip, find out what's happening, maybe have some slightly shadier missions that you can accept versus the sort of more clean scrubbed ones that you would get on, say, the job boards.
I love that poster.
Yeah, the hammerhead.
Direct us to more ships to buy.
So every now and then.
Yeah, and we're in an active city, so we actually have full trains of transit.
Right, Mosquito?
They do.
Hey. I just went by.
Oh. Yeah, the AI of Skyrim did, Damon. You're right. It looks like it's very selective on that.
This is our early implementation of the bartender, and you can order whiskey or you can order beer. So Glenn is going to do an Irish coffee in kind of a messed up way.
Oh, I love Irish coffee.
Not the proper way.
What do you want?
Appreciate you.
Good choice.
Yeah, they need women. They need women in this game very, very badly.
This is the 3-3 build.
Yep.
There's
still some glitches. And some wonky gravity.
Oh my God, what is going on?
Fine once we get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't reset the gravity vector until you actually pick it up. So. We got ice cube simulation. There you go. Very important.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And there is only one cube in the whiskey, which is also very important. All right, let's have a drink. Let's have a drink, but not too much.
So again, in the future, when we're talking about the player status, you'll be able to drink too much, stumble around, have those types of wonderful things.
I want an all-woman
maybe
planet.
you have one drink, you'll have a little bit of courage, like a little bit more strength in combat, but too many drinks.
Yeah, right, Arcane.
All right.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talk about on the channel, Tiger.
We've missed the trains both times. So,
Mosquito.
Okay, let's.
It keeps progressing. I mean, it's been 3 years since I've started, and I gotta say, it's progressed. But that's the point we always talk about on the channel is like the progression of things, right?
We got an invite to go see Clovis Darneely in
Woman World
Reclamation and Disposal. So
sign me up.
This is the mission.
As long as I can stay a man on that planet, Tech.
So let's accept that. And we just need to go to Reclamation and Disposal and go.
And this is one of the mission givers.
The lighting is fantastic in Star Citizen Row. The lighting's absolutely fantastic. I mean, the progress is there. It's just very slow.
Had a
few
drinks.
Yeah. It's because of the details. It's because of the details. It's what we were talking about. You know,
so
sometimes
over here we've got
it doesn't
Maria
need
Bart.
as much detail.
This goes back to player
What's up, Mark One? Welcome to the stream, man.
Kind of
Glad to have you here.
Behind Death of the Spaceman.
It's going
when
okay.
You die, this is where you'll die.
Excuse me.
This is where you'll come back. You'll respawn here.
Yeah.
And then also when you get injured, and the med pin takes you back to a certain percentage, and then it will fade over time.
That's right.
and then you'll need to actually get fixed up here, whether it's at a hospital or by the Apollo or Endeavor.
Yeah.
Well, the ice cube is showing the fact that they've factored in like gravity on planets and ships, but if they have really done that, or they're just showing that as a display, is the real question, Damon. Because if it's physically entered into the game as far as gravity, then that's a pretty big deal. As far as the code itself.
Reclamation and disposal.
No, it's not the drink physics. It's actual gravity. Colleen. Right.
Oh, apologies.
Joker.
It's especially dreadful today.
Oh my God, that looks like my grandfather, who died a long time ago.
Still alive, I think. Hello, welcome to Reclamation and Disposal. My name is
kind of scary and creepy like that, but I love him.
Wonderful to meet you.
It's Voldemort, but with the nose.
What can I do for you on this?
It looks like my grandfather, actually.
Well, you gave us an invite about work. Let's ask about that.
It's an excellent
boob gravity.
question.
I'm looking really forward to that, Colleen. Boob gravity. We want those. We want the boob physics in the game.
If you're not particularly concerned with shades of morality, I may have a lead on some, well, let's just call it questionable materials in need of forceful collection. The devil's in the details, I believe. Read them well.
I mean, look at the face, though, and the lighting. I mean, it's pretty fantastic.
Okay, there's a satellite that's fallen from orbit, and it has a prototype blade in it. We want to
mosquito.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wonderful. Best of luck.
Some men, too, as well. Mosquito.
Okay. Let's head out to the crash site. We're going to just check the mission, I guess. Yeah. Sure we got it.
Tiger.
Oh, we're going to do a comm call. All right. We're going to ask one of our friends. Okay. Fingers crossed.
This is the communication system within the game. Definitely. If they make it good enough. Oh.
Hand's a bit weird.
Oh.
Where's
it going?
I love it.
Nice, man. Hey, look, I just got this mission. Apparently, I need to go out to some location.
They're showing off the FOIP, which does not look that good right now, but it's funny.
Yeah, that sounds good. If I'm in the area, I'll definitely join up with you if I see you.
Did he calibrate, by the way?
You look interested.
Definitely.
All right, man. I'll catch you out there, yeah? Meet up with you. All right, dude. Juicies.
All right. So
oh my God, that was a total fail, but it was funny.
Kinks in the facial stuff like that.
Just a little bit.
I'm not sure whether we calibrated correctly. Doesn't Chris have glasses?
So that's the facial recognition software.
Yeah. So,
what I saw from the avocados was better than that. Just so you guys know, they're having some issues today.
Example of the quality.
They got that DaGaimez hashtag technical difficulties look.
Working right now in the 3.3 OCS branch that the avocado.
They can actually play it too.
And they could, yeah, and you'll also be able to go and check it out in the LAN room, the Drake.
It's so room. Funny.
Okay, so
that's L19. That is, that's the habs that we were at.
I should just make that a highlight for the YouTube channel.
The security building, and then where's the like the worker trade stuff?
We're gonna head to Tammany and Sons, which is the shop. We're gonna buy some lumber. We're gonna buy a multi-tool as well because we'll need that for the mission.
Yeah, I think they should show that particular type of gameplay with the graphics as like static or something wrong with the interception of signals. That would be cool, Arcane. That would be cool. But they really have to get the basics down first. They have to get, I mean, like the FOIP that we saw there was absolutely horrible, you know. But the FOIP that I saw with a lot of the footage that the avocados gave to me was fantastic.
Cheap plastic bags, breathing apparatus things. May not end well.
I hope the calibration isn't a pain in the ass. I really do. I really do. I imagine like since this is all very new tech that you know these are the things they're dealing with right now.
New flight suit that's coming with 3.3. It's the RSI Odyssey. It's very cool. So we're just gonna get it.
Chris says it's very cool.
Okay.
Oh man, Mark 1.
And then we need to go.
They're gonna have to, dude.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to. I'm gonna release this on my YouTube channel to show it as is. All the issues. I mean, we've had sync issues.
So
we had a boot issue. We had a crash issue. FOIP issue.
Personal utility item. That
gravity issue.
Different attachments that you can actually.
All
use,
content related.
Cutting or
and all very good to see.
Salvaging.
Here we go. Salvaging.
Hopefully mining. I can talk him into mining.
Yeah, like small scale mining.
Yes,
ah, cool.
Very small scale mining.
Alright.
Alright.
At least put the undersuit on.
It's interesting. They're showing like the miner equipment right now.
You sure we got that?
They have helmets. It looks like some type of mining laser of sorts, like a handheld. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm talking too much.
Hey, you only did buy the helmet, by the way, just let you know. Did it not let you be able to buy the RSI suit?
No, I don't think it gave him the right items.
It needs to refresh them. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Write that up as a bug.
I do love the music. I do love the in-game music. The feels, man. The in-game music's great.
Just put a little armor on top of the RSI
Boy plus poker, Tiger. Oh shit!
We'll do the helmet when we fly.
I would be able to tell what your tell is.
Yeah, you don't need that on Hurston. Even though the air quality is bad, it is breathable. All right. Okay.
All right, so they're apparently going out to do a mission that's involving like an industrial-based type mission, I think.
So we're gonna make our way to the train station.
Which there should be a lot of these types of missions as well.
That's how the workers get taken to the strip mine.
You see the trains going by or not? There you go, look, so you see...
Yeah, that's a lot of creds, that's a lot of creds.
I don't know if you saw that, but there's functioning trains in Lowville. We're actually going to get on one of the trains. We just saw one go past.
Oh.
We can go to the metro station now. There you go, see?
Oh.
There's actually a functioning transit system that we're going to head to.
All right, all right.
Very cool. And even when you're flying outside, you can see the trains on their tracks.
I'm getting excited. I'm getting a little excited. There probably will be, David. I'm calling for it right now, David. They need to have that in there. So, if I get this correctly, they managed to do half of the GTA 5 content. No, dude. It's there. It's just what we saw. Definitely not great, Mosquito. Definitely not great. But what I've seen, just so you know, Mosquito, from avocado footage directly from 3 different avocados.
We have the admin office
because they talked to me and they showed me actual footage. And the FOIP that they showed me that they were involved in looked very good. Looked very good.
Off limits.
They just can never do this shit right. When they're doing like a public presentation, there's always something that goes wrong.
Some kinks everyone's working out.
And there's been a lot on this one.
Let's go to the Metro Center to get to the spaceport.
I like the transit system. I like that. I think that's very cool. Like these planets having transit systems and getting from point A to point B, as if you were a worker, for instance. This is giving you an option to be like an employee, you know, on this particular planet if you wanted to just wanted to work. I know it sounds strange, right? Because it's a video game, but like if you're into the industrial and you need to start, this would be how you would start. You would get your prospector and then you would go out and you would mine, bring back material. This is kind of like the base, as it were, of the starting point to become, you know, an industrialist, especially if you're a miner. This is pretty interesting.
Plus the spaceport.
It does feel very alive.
It gives you just kind of the idea of the scale of the city.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Damon. I'll see you, buddy.
So actually, if we take a look, we can see above, train arriving in 103 seconds. What about the other track? Look at the other track.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be a space pirate completely. An opportunist. A space opportunist, Kelly.
Train's departing.
Train's departing in 26 seconds.
So it just
no, they don't, and they need to, Mosquito.
Right.
They absolutely need to. We said that earlier, dude.
The trains come and go. If you actually walk out,
there's glitches. There's glitches. There's glitches.
Just watch it go.
One thing that you will notice is that the transitions between
5, 4.
heliports.
Like we have to be critical. We still have to be rational when we watch this. I'm excited for what they're attempting to do here. But I'm very rationalist in the fact that there has been a lot of buggy glitches. But I'm always fascinated by the lighting and the sounds, the audio.
Okay, we got 53 seconds.
So they're waiting for the train.
We're going to do commuter citizen. So if you miss the train, you have to wait for the next one.
That's pretty funny.
I saw somebody that was very excited about that on Reddit. So.
Yeah.
This one's for you.
It's probably you, Tech. Was it you,
well,
dude?
I just wanted to show. I love the fact that there's a running transit system, and you have to catch it right
and actually,
I agree, Arcane.
Worked
I agree,
very
dude.
hard on this, putting this together and actually building the tracks, building.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome, dude.
Everything that goes into it.
Should be
the other thing.
Any minute now. Come on, little trainee. There you go. See, in Star Citizen, the trains do run on time.
This one's sort of,
we may crash, we may do some other stuff, but our trains definitely run on time.
So happy you guys are here with me today. Thanks for joining me here today, guys. You make it very fun.
Between the spaceport and L19, right now they don't, so it will be a.
Yeah, you have a train, people getting on, getting off, sitting down in the seats, just like you would get a normal commuter train. So the usable system, the new usable systems only just come online. And it's one of the reasons why you're not seeing that many of the actions that are going.
That's pretty tight.
This is all physically real. We are traveling in Lawville.
Thanks, Tech. That's awesome, dude.
You can see out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
You look back, you see the tracks, right? And that's the Hurston Dynamics building, which is 4 kilometers high. Lawville itself is about 24 kilometers in
I actually like this.
diameter.
I actually like this.
The main area of it, which is about equivalent to Austin.
Now, this is all procedurally generated as far as what we learned from
in real world scale.
How they make cities, the city building process.
Not many games.
I'm not quite sure if it's perfected yet, but they need to get that shit on the road here, so that more places can be populated.
Longer term on the
so that we have more places to go to,
and
they can design them faster.
A lot more options that would be much more like a real, kind of metro system or track. Right now, they sort of run point to point B, but we're going to have.
It's okay. You guys are allowed to have differences of opinion here. That's the great thing about this community, man.
It's anyways fun. So there you are. And whatever the train simulator out there, we're doing a little bit of that too.
Yeah, Mark 1, it is feeling a little techie demo. You're right, dude. I just want to see new places, though. I'm kind of happy that they are showing new places and places that we can go to in the game, because we need to. We need new places. They need to get this on the road as far as places we go.
Have all the relevant information ready for inspection.
All right. So longer term with the law and order system that we're going to be working with, going between places, depending on what you carry, there'll be checkpoints. So you won't be able to necessarily say carry weapons or contraband. And that's kind of what these custom points are. They're not fully operating yet, but that's the longer term goal. Won't be in 3.3, but as the law and order system comes in, that's all gonna.
Cortec always gets pushed back, Tiger. That's
here we are.
One of the things that, like,
for the smugglers, that makes it a little bit more.
We're upset about on the channel.
You gotta find a backdoor.
We wanted to see a lot more talk about Cortec,
and smuggling is a specific.
And hopefully they'll do that as the as CitizenCon continues. But that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, the actual Cortec.
So look out. Yeah, ignore the glitching AI. We have lots of those. A few ships.
Ignore the glitching AI.
Part of that's actually, we'll go there later. Saw that. That's the Kraken. You can see the sides of the Kraken because It's got a cutlass on it and a buccaneer. If you take a look, and we zoom in.
That's fucking huge.
And it LODs it properly. There you go. So it's not a small ship. I don't know. Are there any ships coming and going? I'm on this build. I saw it like this morning.
That's fucking huge. Jesus.
Do we disable the ships coming and going? I don't know what happened. No. So in the spaceports, you'll come. There'll be sort of hubs. So normally there'll probably be a ship dealer. There is actually a ship dealer on this spaceport, which we'll go and see later on. There'll be different lounges. So like maybe one for the Chairman's Club, one for sort of UE, USO style one, and then we're going to have various guilds that if you become a member, they may have their own sort of lounge in the various spaceports. We're going to go and just retrieve our ship to go on the mission.
The rework.
Yeah, we'll take the
okay,
new Mustang,
here's the new Mustang. I'm very excited about seeing the new Mustang. I'm very happy they finally redesigned this. I talked to our community, I've talked to members within SIG and told them how dumb it is for them to have a starting package ship be a glitchy ship. So let's see if they've in fact fixed the Mustang and have a very decent design. So let's see.
Ships over here, so we'll have ship rental too.
It's the ship that a lot of people bought, Jeff.
Not buy every single ship because we're going to have different ship dealers or places that will specialize, like here's an Origin dealer or whatever. And there'll also be used ship dealers. Like we're going to have one on Levski called Teachers, which will be fun. But we'll go visit this later. Let's go to oh, and down here, sorry, Glenn. Yeah, Glenn's reminding me. Long term, you're also going to be able to take like transit, just the same like we have the transit system in the train, commercial transport to different locations on the planet or off-world. So that would be where that would be down in the space.
I love that.
So as an NPC, you could fly your own ship, or you could take a ship to get there, basically a Starliner. So let's go down to the hangar. And in 3.3 of Lorville and Hurston, we've got two hangar types that we've built, which is the large hangar and the extra large, because they will hold every ship. Now, obviously, we're going to be in a large hangar, even though we're in a Mustang. It's too big of a really a hangar for a Mustang, but
it sells the scale.
Yeah, you'll get a sense of scale, and either for 3.4 or just after 3.4, the small hangar will come in line. There are small hangar places in the spaceport. It's just we haven't finished the interior of the small hangar out.
This is built out of our common elements. So the idea is that this is how we scale. You know, we build these big elements, and then we can bring them down and build smaller elements out of that.
So here's the large hangar, which will fit lots of ships, not just a Mustang.
Yeah.
And again, longer term on the we still have some AI going around, but you know, people will be moving carts. When you land, they'll bring stuff over to your ship. So the long-term goal is to have the AI in the place, give it a sense of life, give it a sense of operation.
All right, here's the new Mustang here.
You know, they're coming out to refuel your ship, coming out to fix it up, all the rest of the stuff. All right, let's get our helmet on and go for a flight.
Arcade. Well, that one dude at the beginning of the presentation was saying how he feels the pressure every single day, dude. I bet they do. I bet they do. Yeah, true, Tech. Yeah, don't spend a lot of money on the game. I went up to $100 and that was it for me. And thanks to this community, I've been able to fly a lot of the ships. So another shout out to my amazing community here.
Welcome. Your journey begins now. All systems operational.
All right, let's go to comms and ask.
Yes, Arcade.
Permission to. Wow.
We just got him in. He's a little blown out.
Yeah, and we can't hear him either. But he's like, okay, you got permission to land.
Permission to take off.
Let's say take off. Sorry, yeah, not land.
Tech.
So, Glenn, can you look up or good? All the way up.
There you Yeah,
there we go.
The hangar doors are opening. And again, the hangars all here it's all physically correct. So the hangar is the location. You'd see it outside. When you're playing it, you'll see other players coming and going, landing in the hangars. So let's take off.
Launch complete.
So we're also introducing restricted
I like the little wheels on the bottom of the landing area. The landing gear.
Like,
oh, that's cool.
Until you're after a certain height, you can't fly.
That's cool.
Here we are. That's the Kraken that we were looking out on.
Maybe if we can have a camera rotate.
Right there is
L19,
where you
right?
spawned. So this gives you a good sense of scale.
I want them to rotate the camera a bit. Wow.
And I don't know if we can see.
You can see like the pollution in the air.
Tracks, depending. I think there's tracks to the left there. I can't.
Depending on time.
Hey Darth, welcome to the stream, man.
Just gonna get up to appropriate height. And obviously, if you can see, Lorville's made quite a lot of progress from last year when we showed it in the Art Corp demo. At,
okay, sure, Kelly.
So we spent a fair amount of time building it out, and also building it in a way that will be performant for a city of this sort of scale.
I think Ian increased the size of the building quite a lot.
See, this is what I want. I want to be able to go here, like now.
Yeah, but you get a sense of just how big
it's a huge corporate. It's a very corporate area.
The goal is in 3.4 or just after it. This opens up as a whole separate area that you take a train to go visit in.
I like the runners behind. I like to see the air. I like to see that it's going through the atmosphere, and you're seeing like those small little streamers going back from the wings, the ailerons. It's pretty interesting design looking ship. It looks. I like the look of it a little bit better. If they could actually spin the camera around so I could get a better kind of angle of it. Yeah, very dusty. Well, it's corporate and industrial. I mean, like, they go hand in hand, Jeff. Yeah, it's wow. Okay, there we go. That's nice. Nice pan. There's the streamers. That's nice. That's nice. I'm not too sure. It looks a little bit cartoony on the front with the turret and the guns, but all in all, it looks like an improvement. Was there any cabin space in the back though, or did that get nixed?
So I think we've got
I think that got nixed. Because if you guys remember in the original, some of the original Mustangs, the back had a cabin
Hurston's
to it.
Actually built out of 6 biomes. We've got desert, savanna, acidic, strip mines, trash, and polluted coast. So here you'll see the polluted coast. If Glenn flew down towards
the polluted coast, that looks
ocean.
like Long Beach down there.
Yeah, and Hurston is, I believe, about 2,000 kilometers.
Yeah, the B model. The B model, that's right.
So it's about Earth size based on our ratio. So we're doing 1/6 for the main planets, and that's mostly just for traversal reasons.
Okay, good, good. Thank you, Jeff, for that confirmation.
Quite a while to fly, not even
it's good that you did that for everybody.
And, with the old flight model, we had some of it, but the new flight model even more enforces it. So when you're down in atmosphere, the thicker it is, the harder it is for you to go fast. When you get higher up, you'll be able to go faster. So yeah, we figured 1/6 of the size is still way bigger than anyone else is doing on planets, like 1-to-1. But it's a nice balance between having the size and the scale.
Yeah, they need to work on the texturing slightly, Arcane, at least. Yeah, maybe it could be the lighting because of the planet's atmosphere, though. You know, because the lighting's very interactive with the materials, so it could very be like the actual lighting, Arcane. We'll see. They'll go up. No, they won't actually. They won't be going up. They're going to a mission point on the planet.
Spawn in multiple locations.
Yes,
this destination around Hurston.
Yeah. And also have multiple branches to it.
And can be multi-part or not multi-part. Have different sizes of stuff. So
one of the things that I do like about the NPC side of things is that they have this kind of choose your own adventure style mission.
And I'm expecting all you guys once you get home.
Well, that looks great.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I got taken. Like seeing all that sun, you know, because it's reacting with the atmosphere of the planet.
Better than we manage to do normally. So
that's really
quite
one of the fantastic.
Things every time we do a new release is seeing all the content that you guys generate.
Same here, Jeff. Same here. It's not like ultra fast and unrealistic. It actually has like a realistic feel to it. The altimeter, you can see like I'm actually happy with like the altimeter. They need a little bit more reactiveness to the atmospheric flight.
Bombardment kind of biome. So like Hurston uses, they make weapons and they use the planet for testing. So that would be sort of this cratered area that they're testing their orbital devices, and then there's going to be the executive gardens, which will be really sort of plush, you know, for the 1% of Hurston that they've got their, you know, walled gardens, and it's not polluted, and it's, you know, set separately from the.
Which will be everybody in my organization will have amazing plushness on this planet. You can expect that from the Plexus Syndicate. Plushness, you hear me? Plushness. Nothing but the best for the Plexus Syndicate.
How far out are we? Let's see. What distance do we scan at?
Closer.
There are Mosquito. There are ships that have support rules. Arcane says the plushness. That's right, Tiger. That's right.
And we have in the
Am I hearing things like going off the windshield, or is that? I swear in the headphones I heard shit pinging off the windshield.
Is it after this or one?
That's right, Tech.
So the new one has a lot more accurate on the atmospheric modeling. It's modeling drag.
Welcome back, Holly.
Correctly.
More coffee for you.
So the different sizes of atmosphere. It won't be in 3.3, but our goal is to get the new model into 3.4. But it's
all right. We're seeing some of the fauna.
It's going to change a lot of things. Probably takes some getting used to, but there's definitely a different feeling performance down on planets.
I'm not too hip with seeing some of that pop in and pop out like that. You're still seeing performance slow down while they're flying. You're still seeing some of the
flies a lot better and can turn much tighter in atmosphere than say an Aurora, which is basically a flying brick. So it's pretty. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very cool, and if you feel it, I don't know in our land room if we're actually showing the atmospheric. We're letting people play with the atmospheric flight there, but it definitely feels different than when you're in space, which is
good.
Something I think a lot of people
because it's not in the game yet,
and we now have with the new one.
Okay, good.
So, okay.
Oh, okay. So the scan.
The goal for scanning, obviously, is to give you a general area that you need to go and scan in. You need to ping, and then from there, it's about hunting and finding what you need to actually do. So we found it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do I.
Glenn knows where to go.
Kelly.
Well, we went to the
don't make me self-conscious, Kelly.
And then we scanned it.
Yes, but you saw it.
This is fantastic, though.
And the scanning, I mean,
it makes you. You have to breathe though, and you have to be rational because this is nothing that we're able to touch yet, nothing that we're able to play yet.
Locations,
so
ships.
You still have to take a breath and be rational while you're watching this type of stuff. The vegetation and the fauna have some glitch issue.
Figuring out what resource.
But all in all, the feel looks like there. I don't know if the guy flying it's making it look like there's physics or there's actually like atmospheric physics in the game.
And that is more about exploration.
Okay, so here's the down satellite.
Yeah, right, Kelly. Right.
Top, we probably should find location to land.
I like the little wheels, man. I don't know what it is about it, but I like the little wheels on the Mustang, man. It reminds me of like a small Hornet landing on a carrier or something. Yeah, see, that's not that wobble right there. That's not very real atmospheric kind of. Like there needs to be more of a gravity, a pull down when you're like the atmospheric flight needs to be definitely worked on. Okay, all right, things are looking a little bit better now that they're down in it.
All right, we are down on the ground. Let's go check this thing.
Assisted landing happens at spaceports and areas with
we have a few weapons just in case.
Traffic, I believe, and then most anything that you're landing planet side is going to be manual. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Ammo.
Oh, is that it, Jeff? Okay.
All right.
Oh my God, I gotta go pick up my son here in about 2 minutes, guys. Let me know when I'm gonna miss. I will keep this on for you guys. I'm gonna keep this on for you guys. Tell me how you guys want me to be. Do you want me to go in a be right back mode like this? Or do you guys want this or this?
Very different biome from what
you guys want the be right back mode until I get back, or like this? Because if I'm leaving and I'm not on this mode, and you want the big mode, guys, then you need to tell people that I'm not here right now and I'm picking up my son. You want the full? Okay.
Planet Tech.
Okay, this one right here. All right, full screen. All right, people aren't going to know that I'm gone, so you guys need to tell the people that I'm picking up my son as they come in here, and I'll be back in about 15 minutes or so, guys. All right, I will be right back. All right, all right. You guys let the people know. It is your responsibility to let them know I'm picking up my son. I will be right back, guys. And this is amazing. This is absolutely fun. What's amazing is being able to hang out with you guys and chill out and watch all this. Now I will be on my phone watching my own stream as I go to pick up my son. I will be right back, guys. No, God, no, mosquito.
Pretty awesome because this thing covers the whole planet, right. And when you get down, you're right in the middle
Be right
of
back,
it,
guys.
And it's really, really cool. And we're
let them know.
Constantly working to improve it, so it's already a level above what we showed a year ago, and it's it's great. It's gonna be even better as we carry on. So, and here we go. In the current game, the fire doesn't damage you, but longer term, the fire will damage you. It'll be part of the player status system. We're going to measure the temperature and the heat. So over a certain amount, you start to get damaged. And also, if you're in a tight area, we will actually have the fire entity itself be sucking oxygen out of the air. So, like if there was a fire aboard one of your ships, if you don't put it out, it's pulling the oxygen out of the air, which would work with our player status system, which is all the systemic stuff that we want to get into the game. So it's one big sandbox to just live and exist in, and the things that you think would happen as they would in real life do.
And it's not just fire, it'd be acid or radiation or other different hazard types that we can actually think of and use.
All right, let's go. Top. So we're sort of using, I mean, we've had mantling for a bit, but there's a bit more mantling that's going on. Again, all our player sort of locomotion, movement stuff, stage one, we're working on it, but yeah, you'll be able to, mantle, vault, slide, basically do a lot of these sort of parkour style actions and have full locomotion and interactivity with the environment. Again, because we want it to be sort of a tactile, exploratory game feel to it. What's happened with the, is it me or is there's something blown out on
the lights?
Effects, yeah. Okay, let's try to make this jump. It's like old school platform game here. All right, are we going to do it, Glenn? Right,
I believe in you,
run
buddy.
up. Here we go. Oh! Glenn! All right. Okay, back up again. Like I said, it's like an old school platform game. All right. Let's do it all first person. One. We're actually ducked and crouched in there, I think.
Yeah.
So we're actually ducked as we're going under it. First person. Okay. And we'll mantle up the last thing. All right. Back here. Try it again.
settle down.
Glenn!
Heal yourself.
Yeah, you better get that med pen. Do we get any?
Did you die? Oh. Can you do a go-to? Yeah.
What's that?
You go-to?
Yeah, okay. All right, we're going to cheat. We're going to use a developer go-to so we don't have to have you guys go through the whole thing. Yeah, we are going to teleport. Okay, we did say it was real gameplay and live. There you go. So, I think next time you fall, you should probably med pen before you take the next jump. All right, one more time. Glenn made that jump every single.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see you miss that jump until now.
Twice. You got it.
All right.
So again, you're looking for a prototype blade. And this goes to the tactileness that we want. Is that the right one?
So it's
Nope.
TDC 470. No,
Nope.
we need a TDC prototype XX. All right. So we can just drop that. Exactly. Check this one out. No, it's the same one. So the prototype one does not appear to be there.
There you go.
So someone's probably gotten here first and taken the prototype. So what we need to do is figure out, and this is an example of a multi-part mission, right? So
yes.
This mission could have ended here and you had the prototype as one of the things, or it could carry on and someone's taken it. In this case, someone has taken it. So we've got to find out where the prototype is. Yeah. We don't have impaling just yet.
Yeah.
I only had the physics question. So if we go in here, and this is an example of, like another thing you could do or a puzzle is the satellite shut down, but if we maybe get our multi-2 out and perhaps cut away those restraints there. Get rid of that. Cut those. Falls off. And there'll be things in the game that will let you read what you can use the pour on. Reset it, and hopefully it will allow us to track where the prototype is. Okay, we restarted the satellite's internal system, and there's a prototype somewhere, so let's go find it. Is there music played in any of this? I haven't heard any music. Is there music? Oh, this
think it's mostly ambient. There's some.
Oh, hang on. Shit, alright, well I guess we don't have our eye. This isn't looking good. There's a cutlass.
Hey Chris, if you're out there, I may need some
There's
help.
someone else, and this would be an example of someone else getting the same mission to come and get there. They've saw our ship, and they've decided to take it out and then try to go for the prototype.
And I believe you just called your friend? Player 6 just crashed.
What is that?
Ian, can you cut to camera 2? Chris, can you go? Chris, go third person.
Okay. So, this is our friend that we just called. Showing up. Let's show the tail side gunner as well, I guess. Cut to camera 3. There we go. So this is the Anvil Valkyrie, and it is the first
camera 2.
First straight to flyable ship that we've done. So it's a Anvil drop ship, and it's going to feature also in Squadron 42, and this will launch with 3.3.
Take out 5, take out 4.
Yeah, let's get rid of the bad guys.
Take out the bad guys.
Camera 1, Glenn, where are you? Let's see where you're going. Where are the bad guys?
Okay. Glenn is DCing it.
There we go. That's a sync issue. Oh, we lost the... He's out, right? I can see him on camera 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
there we go.
Done. We're still having some sync issues in the multiplayer. All right, I think we killed all the bad guys. Yes, we have. All right, let's bring it down. Oh, not yet. Oh yeah, it's a big rock. Let's avoid that one. There we go. Okay. All right, stop, buddy. All right. Thank you very much. Hey, should we do a little talkie? You guys got the FOIP on or not? You got the FOIP on? I was wondering if you'd said something.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, let's walk up to him and see if he's...
Thanks for the help, man.
You're very welcome. No problem.
Okay, let's close it. All right, so this is the Anvil Valkyrie. It is, like I said, Anvil's dropship. Both sides, there's side guns you can deploy, remote turrets. It's a bit risky. We still have the desync on the ladder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we can take a tour of the bottom.
Well, yeah. Let's just look around the bottom, Glenn, and then I think we're heading to where the prototype blade is.
Go through the doors.
Here's the bottom. You can go up there to where the flight area is. I think if we open up here, it will take us to. It's kind of dark. There you go. Open door. There you go. Whee. And this is where the crew can sit. This will carry like 20 folks. I think this is probably to the turret in the front, right? Yeah.
So the down turret?
The down turret in the front.
Or the bottom turret. And then
sleeping quarters upstairs. But if we go back, we've got, rather than us make a mess of the specs, Anvil have a little video that they kindly provided for us to tell us about the Anvil Valkyrie. So let's let Anvil help us out.
Ask any soldier. They'll tell you that battles aren't won or lost based on weapons or numbers or even hardware. They're won on choices. For over a century, our ships have distinguished themselves in thousands of civilian and military combat operations. We are proud to announce another weapon in the arsenal of victory. Get ready for the next generation of warfare with Anvil's Valkyrie dropship. This multi-role weapon platform is designed to get personnel in and out of the hottest combat zones. Featuring 4 powerful rotating thrusters with VTOL capabilities, the Valkyrie is capable of landing with surgical precision to deploy assets. Fitted with a vehicle bay and ramp, you can also efficiently launch ground-based troop transports or reconnaissance vehicles in the field. Each high-performance operator seat features rugged construction with added support to minimize G-force for up to 20 personnel, making sure that your fighting force arrives on site ready to jump into the fray. And don't think for a second that the Valkyrie can't hold its own in a fight. 2 remote turrets featuring size 3 hardpoints can provide suppressing fire during deployment. 2 additional manned turrets provide even more devastating fire to blur the line between dropship and gunship. In the days of antiquity, the Valkyrie were believed to choose which warriors may die in battle and which may live. With Anvil's Valkyrie, we put that choice in your hands.
Okay, let's. How are we doing in terms of getting to the location we need to get to?
Player 2's flying there right now.
Right. Yeah, I can't. The contrast there is. I should figure out that. So we want to look out the side there, Glenn, maybe.
Well, you can see the remote gunner from player 6 as well.
Okay, sure. There we go. So yeah, let's switch to player 6.
Can you turn to the right, Daryl? There you go.
And go to the, I guess, to the left, to the front.
Yep.
So it's a full 180 degrees, I guess, and full down. So yeah, there's 2 remote gunner seats that can man the side guns, remote guns, Gatling guns, and then there's a turret gunner on the top and a turret gunner on the bottom, and obviously a pilot, and then whatever the crew that you bring. So. Someone wants to shoot it? Why not?
Distance.
Well, you want more than one shot? Come on. Hey, bullets cost money. You have to restock your ammo, man. Well, you never know when you may need it. You know what I'm saying? Does the side gunner thing work, by the way? I think it does. This is something you don't get the thing on the...
Some pitches.
I mean, Glenn can try it and then you got the switch it.
Yeah.
Glenn, you go the side gunner turret. No, don't. Keep on the... You go on the side gunner turret. And then, yeah. See if it works. It's apparently extremities.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. Okay. All right. So we're heading to where the prototype thing is. And hang on.
No, camera 6.
Back to camera 6, please. So there's some pretty hardcore AA here.
Why don't player 1 and player 3 have a little fun?
Yeah. Okay. The temporal cyclone, which is also going live with 3.3.
Yep.
So we have this, the racing version, I think the missile version. Do we? I can't remember what that's.
I think all versions of them are
okay. All right. We got rid of.
I think we got rid of all of them.
All the AA. All right.
Yep.
So.
Oh. We did improve the rocks. You don't run over every single one of them now.
Yeah, that's one of the AA turrets. That's another AA turret we took out. And again, this will be another optional continuation of the mission. So another type of missions that we have in 3.3 on Lawville or Hurston, actually more Hurston, is underground facilities. So this is the very first example of underground systems. So we're going to have underground facilities, caves, other kind of things. And this particular one, this happens to be a kind of, I don't know, waste storage.
I think it was used for refining. And,
right?
Well, we'll go check it out.
So let's go down.
You guys are too good a shot. You left nothing for us.
What's that?
What do you say? Too good a shot.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, let's go in, down to the facility.
All right, guys, I am back.
Who are you with?
Player 3.
What's up, guys?
Scott.
Scott. All right, so Glenn and Scott are going to go down. Over at Scott.
Thanks, guys, for keeping things straight for me.
2 team in to try and get the prototype.
This is looking interesting. What's going on here? I've been watching a little bit from my car. But then, of course, my phone died. I was watching all up until like about 6 minutes ago.
Player 3.
Player 3.
Just got Devin back. Devin says hello, by the way, to everybody.
There you are. You can.
Don't let the bastard
escape.
Damn it.
We need some fun.
Okay, so here's the other part of the mission: is FPS AI mission. So this is cooperative gameplay against FPS AI. Currently, I think in 3.3 you have missions that spawn at Korea, and then we're going to have missions that are spawning around Hurston, like this underground one.
So this is our first pass on it. You guys have been working very hard on getting all the behaviors working properly. Hit reaction.
That wasn't bad.
Oh, I saw one more guy.
Yeah, I don't like the iron sight. So that guy dying like that was pretty interesting. The sounds, not quite sure about the sounds.
Oh.
Little blood splatter, kind of sloppy. Yeah, like where's the fire at, right, Mosquito? There we go. That one reacted interestingly.
Can we cut to Scott?
Oh, good point, Arcade.
I shoot, man.
You too. And again, Diegetic, VoIP and VoIP will be there. So when you're there, you can talk to when you've got people in your team, you'll be able to talk to them. So, and it'll all be automatic based on who you make friends and everything. So in this particular case, you wouldn't need to be linked up in Discord or TeamSpeak or anything. As long as you're in the team, you're all there. It'll be like operating in a real-world fire group. So I think here is where the CDC is. I swear that was so worth it before. It's so annoying that it changes. All right, prototype TDC XX. Okay, and we've recovered the blade now. This is the second part
Interesting,
of the
Darth.
mission, and now we got to take this back.
Yeah, I missed that, man. I missed that.
Point in Lorville.
I stopped at a red light. I was looking down. I was watching you guys chat, and like my phone just died. My phone died.
So now the question is, did you get everybody?
Okay.
Nope. So one of the things that we've been working on is kind of the knockdown system, staggers, those types of things. We need to do some internal play tests a little bit more, but ideally we roll that out soon.
Should you not be standing still?
Chris is like off to the corner. Should he not be standing still? And then he's like, no, he's fine. It's okay. Just go with the program, Chris. I'd like to see some Titan suits today, for sure, Dark.
Respawn. Those are all spawn in the game. Respawn some afterwards. Like in this mission, I wonder if respawn some after you get it.
Chris is giving me notes for me to fix on the mission.
Oh, just saying, wouldn't it be cool if a few other people stopped out of the popped out on your way back up?
We will add reinforcements.
Chris is like micromanaging, but Chris doesn't micromanage. Remember. Oh, Chris.
So glad they fixed the popping.
So glad they fixed the popping. Do you hear what he's saying with the audio? Now it's great.
Don't stare at
His
it too
attention to detail is amazing, and that's one of the things about the game that really makes it different from other games. But it's also the reason why everything's taken so goddamn long, you know. But if you guys had headphones, you were able to go through that audio and hear the circuits popping like that. That was pretty amazing. But again, same reason, like priorities, right?
Yes. So we would say that the Valkyrie that's been flown here is a special CitizenCon edition.
Is this the new dropship that I missed?
You get the Valkyrie during CitizenCon or within this week. I think you get to have this color as opposed to the standard. We have a digital gray camo.
Thanks, Tiger. It's interesting to me.
There's a military version, but that's
because when I first, before I left, it was like a mining kind of industrial mission, and then I must have missed something along the way. Because now I'm in it, and there's like some serious action going on.
And basically show you guys a little bit.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Chris, can you gain some altitude and let's get there?
Hey, what's up, Ego? Welcome to the stream, man. They went to the salvage thing, but it had been stolen and they were attacked. Jeff says he told me this stuff already. Sorry, Jeff, I must have missed it.
I don't know if those are roads. I'll ask Ian.
Yeah, we haven't seen the cockpit yet. What's going on?
Yeah, these there's built
like the little turret.
That's the strip mining biome. They've got the roads that they did the strip mining in. Okay. But there is a road system that is in for the procedural planet setup that we aren't using just yet. It just
that's pretty sexy.
So we're going to start to carve roads.
They didn't show the inside of the cockpit though. Tiger's right. I would like to see the inside of the cockpit. Maybe this is scripted, maybe. Arcade, maybe this is scripted. I'm not quite sure if this is scripted or dynamic, but it's a good question. Oh, we got FOIP again. Oh. Yeah, most likely scripted. So it's a co-op with actual people, which is why this game makes me excited. Because co-oping missions with people could be very exciting. Also against other people makes it that much more exciting. When I see stuff like this and I'm seeing people interacting with other people, doing things that matter, other than missions, that makes me even more excited than the co-op on the regular NPC missions. This type of stuff against other organizations is really what gets my juices going when it comes to the multiplayer about Star Citizen. That I know Chris is focusing more on mission-based NPC stuff, but this type of stuff where you're with the FOIP and the co-op with people actually going against other people, having organization missions that your organization gives you against other organizations, that's the juice. That's the cool shit.
This is a no-fly zone. And this is our early.
They're all over, Tiger. I gotta contain myself.
We will have paths
but that's the meat of why I love Star Citizen, why I want to play the game. Completely juicy. The juice is loose. The juice is completely loose.
Everywhere over the city, under a certain altitude.
Yes, but even more amazing is people against people, bro. Yeah, and having NPCs on a mission that you can hire on would be kind of cool as well on larger ships, Ro. Yeah, exactly, Tiger. Exactly, dude.
Now we can, yeah, okay.
The terrain's very cool to look at. How was your guys' opinion? What's your guys' opinion on the terrain while I was gone? Everything kind of, was it janky or did it seem okay? Like the foliage, like when I didn't get a good look when they landed and there was some greenery and shit. Was it legit or did it have some issues?
Take a train out to the perimeter. We're going to land out here because we can't.
Still want better, realistic, atmospheric flight. It needs to be more gravity, more pull when you're flying. You got to feel it when you're flying in gravity areas. Just hijacking a ship in space like a SWAT team. Okay. Fair stuff mostly after I left. Okay, here we see some little bit of greenery, some shrubbery. This planet's devoid of like anything plush except for us. We will gather all the plushness. Together we will have the most plush. Amazing plushness. I sound like Trump. Fantastic, beautiful plush. Together we're gonna have all the plush. The plushness. Fantastic, it's fantastic. Our plushness is the most fantastic.
So again, this sort of gives you an idea of the perimeter and the scale of the city.
All right, so we're kind of like riding along the outskirts. What did they hop into? Completely missed what they hopped into. What the fuck are they on? I don't know, man. I want to stay salty about SC, but this still looks decent. But it's still tech demo. Yeah, it's still the tech demo. Gotta still be rational, Mosquito. Absolutely right. Till we get our hands on it, till we're playing it, till we feel the feels, right? But seeing it is interesting. Seeing new places to go to, also interesting.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Oh, it's Cyclone. Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Arcade. Yep.
Meet you there.
Thank you, Darth. I like this.
Now you have to find your way through.
Yeah, in the outskirts of Lorville, you know,
you will get sick of winning, says he.
In different areas, there's a little example of a bit of a shanty town. So these are people that have been pushed out of the inner city.
Oh, these are the guys that can't afford to live in the city. That's cool.
To people coming and going from Lorville.
So where are they? Are they? I don't know. I think the music's pretty amazing though, Mosquito. I have to say, like the something very like reactive about the music.
Yeah, you can appreciate the size and the scale of Lorville. So we're now down on the
Welcome
front.
to the stacks.
If you look up, Glenn.
Get your ass capped out here. Oh wow, man, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
In and out of. I mean, I think one of the nice things with Star Citizen is just the sense of scale that you get, but also the sense of detail when you're down there on foot. So it's all,
we know, Chris. We know.
Things you can interact with in your hand. You know, we've got millimeter.
Chris is desperately trying to sell it right now. He doesn't need to sell it.
Billions of kilometers.
Just let us look and see. I personally love the lighting. I've been down with like the way they have actually implemented the design for the lighting. It's actually quite revolutionary. I've got a couple videos about it. Yeah, the movement looks a little jank right now.
Longer term, again, we're saying the law and order system, scanning.
Keep it going, people.
You try and sneak through things. Maybe a scan sets off something. You get taken to
customs.
Yeah, and here's the use of the sort of Dropbox stuff that we're putting into 3.3. So as well as admins that you can pick up and drop things from, this is also allowing you to drop off stuff. So this is sort of a drop that we're going to do, which is to complete our mission.
Clovis doesn't like to get his hands dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they using gamepad? They're using gamepad.
We just place it. Done.
Betrayal.
Mission is. You were subject to all person law and yeah, deliver the cargo. We're done.
And how many credits you get for that? 10. For that hour of.
So now we're gonna catch.
Oh, they got 4,000. Oh my God. Okay, 4,000 credits. Now we're talking. Real credits.
No. Anybody from Europe will understand.
So let's get up there and see what's happening.
I think we got a little bit of a wait.
Person security reserves the right to search travel.
The train, run! Get in it! 7. Oh, yes!
Now watch the train sits there for the next 5 minutes.
Jumps, buddy.
It's literally a 5-minute wait on the perimeter.
Wow.
So that was good because we're running behind schedule anyway.
It's a 5-minute wait because it takes 5 minutes to actually go around the track, is what I've been told.
So a lot of painstaking work went
4 million credits. Here's your 4,000 credits for that mission. Mosquito, that's funny. Yeah, controller can look smoother for camera pans. Absolutely right. Yeah, they have in-game transit, Ego. They showed a little bit of this earlier, which is a very smart thing to do when you're implementing. You're talking about city building. We talked about this on our Terra Prime video when we were actually, by the way, if you guys don't know what Terra Prime looks like, we knew about it about 1.5 years ago. We got the leaked information and we put it out there for our audience. It's the scaled version, and they have transit systems that are above ground, very similar to this. Slightly different tracks, different look. Terra's very rich looking.
Sections.
But I always thought that the introduction of like putting the transit system in the city was very realistic. So I like it.
Together, so like gate 1, gate 2, gate 3 to spaceport, or to the.
Because you could go there by walking, or you shouldn't, because it would take forever.
Probably using most of our landing locations.
But you like vehicles and stuff.
Different areas of interest, from the spaceport to the central physics district to the habitation areas, to the dark, seedy favela area or whatever, depending on the locations we have.
And I think this thing's moving at about 200.
If you played as a pirate and watched my tutorial, Arcane it is.
120 miles an hour.
Space bullet train.
Yes. It's moving. I mean, it's got to cover, 12 kilometers.
Yeah, and it should be interesting to see the actual value of in-game assets when you get in there in 4 credits, Mosquito. I'm very, very curious to see what things are going to be valued at. Because, as we know, the NPCs are pretty much going to dictate pricing with a 90-10 ratio. But we're not quite sure if that 90-10 ratio means the complete 90 of the NPCs are all dealing with the economy, or if they're just talking about general population. I am the ilk that it is not a 90-10 split, that they're talking about the population.
Check out the,
what's going on, Colleen? Colleen meeping from the darkness.
Welcome to Metro Center. Transfers to the perimeter, spaceport, and
wonder if you're going to be able to hunt. Huh.
As I said, commuter citizens.
That'd be kind of neat. Like getting exotic animals and selling them, Dark. That would be kind of cool, dude. I like that idea. I like that idea, dude. Earth is capital. Be true to your school. This is tech. Oh, you playing some Overwatch? Interesting, Colleen. I'll have to join you. Maybe tonight.
So eventually, what we want to do is basically, Glenn, can you look at the map real quick?
I keep saying that, Mosquito. I keep saying that, but so many people disagree with me, and I'm so surprised that people are like against player-run economies. I think that's like absurd that people are against player-run economies. I agree with you completely, Mosquito.
9, 8, 7. Step away from the platform edge when train is approaching.
Yeah, they should. You're absolutely right. I would like to see some of the aliens actually designed that they have drawn for us and given us the JPEGs. I'd like to see them in the game. I think that would be awesome. And you know what? They should have done that already. They should have done that already, Mark 1.
If it was 30, then, or if it was 20, we wouldn't have made the last one.
Pyro's capital pirate rule.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Reserves the right to search travelers at any time.
Yeah, exactly, Mosquito. Absolutely right. And I said that on the base back in March or April when I was on the base radio, and it was on the round table, and they they were telling me how crazy I was, and I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Buy a ship, I think.
Better train sim than space game. Hey, what's up, Hypno? Welcome to the stream, dude. Let's see here. Oh, I mean, if you're looking at the atmosphere and the effects of the sun that is coming through the atmosphere, it's genius. I mean, like, the fact that that sun is the same sun on every other place, like Yella and Salem and any type of station that you're on, it's the same exact sun that's now shining on Lorville, but because the atmosphere is the way that it is, that it's coming through different, that's nothing but pure genius as far as the design. I love player-run stuff, but it needs to be carefully designed to avoid credit card warrior supremacy. Yeah, we don't want pay to win. We don't want pay to win. And we actually had that discussion here on our channel about 1.5 years ago. We had a pay to win discussion with the community. It was a very, very fun video. Colleen is screaming at us. Colleen. Feel the feels, Colleen. Walk around the station. Feel the immersive music, Colleen. I definitely want those kick-ass lights up on the ceiling and my habitation module.
So in 3.3, once Hearst and Lawville in, you'll be able to rent ships and also buy ships. Renting ships obviously will be more economical in the short term because
ice cream. Everybody needs feels, yo.
Well, lets you try them out.
Yeah, lets you try them out, and they also cost money. So it's an opportunity to rent something, to use it, figure it out. So here's the new deal. A couple of obviously ships that are coming in 3.3. There's the Phoenix, sitting right there. The new Mustang.
New Mustang. There we go. There we see the Phoenix.
To the right is
and
the Hammerhead.
The big
Hammerhead. Which, by the way, guys, I have to say, still right now, my personal opinion with this is that I'll be more excited when I'm there on the planet and can see this.
The Avocado just started to play with it.
And obviously like a performance and stability and optimization boost through OCS, hopefully.
We don't have that much money.
They don't have that much money to get into it.
Let's go in and get something that's a little cheaper for us.
Mosquito says, guys, strongly recommend checking out a system in EVE Online. It's deep and working. It might be worth a comparison video, DG. I would be interested. Yeah, I've always been into the economy. Like a lot of my videos, like my older videos, focused on the economy and what I wanted to see out of the economy. I'm somewhat disappointed with how they're kind of making it more NPC controlled. And interestingly enough, talking about the fact that I wanted a player-run economy, it got shut down by a lot of the citizens out there.
The manufacturing, quality, the brand, it's the same for items. So we have a matrix that's done to work with the dynamic economy on ships and on items. Obviously, there's still going to be
Hello and welcome to the New Deal shipyard, where there ain't no such thing as too low of a deal.
He just went in
Take a
last
look around
night.
and just breathe it in.
Yeah.
You know, it's
little work.
The lighting's on. So yeah, like
oh, look at that.
Let's
600.
They don't have enough money for anything. Did they just get 4,000 credits?
20,000. No, the 85X is that much more expensive. But we get a prospector maybe.
Glenn's been wanting to buy.
We got. Look at this. Right. 1.6 million creds. Wow, we got some values here, ladies and gentlemen. We got some values going on here. Are these going to be the real, actual ship values in game? 1.6 million credits. Holy shit, they're making you have to buy the fucking ship.
Yeah, we have prospector we can now fly. There we go. That is the end of.
So let's do the math on this.
We've gone.
Hold on a second.
Done a mission in Lawville / Hurston. That is.
How many missions do I have to do? How many missions do I have to do to get this ship? Let's take 1.6 million and divide it by 4,000. Now realize that one mission probably took them 40 minutes to do.
The various biomes of Hurston.
Wow. I have to do 400 of those missions.
Being able to buy or rent ships.
Nearly 400 hours. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's good or bad. This is big. This is breaking news here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
You're watching it here right now. I don't know if that's good or bad.
To get the glitches and bugs out, which you all got to experience a bit of. But we're really
okay. Interesting. I think we need to end it there because I'm just talking about this. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And is that going to be what's in the game? I mean, is this, how did they price this? Obviously it can't be like the price because I mean, honestly, there's not an economy in the game yet. So I'm wondering if that's where they're figuring to ballpark the prospector at 1.4 million. Now, in one respect, that could be good news because what ends up happening is that it's very realistic that when you have the ship, you don't want to fucking blow it up because it took you a long time to get that money in game. So you're going to be very careful about the decisions that you make with the ship. But on the other hand, how long is that going to take you to do? 400 missions at 4,000 basically. And each mission took about an hour to do. That's 400 hours of gameplay to get one prospector. Very interesting info, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting info here. I'm glad you guys were here.
This is all standing in front of the most important booth of CitizenCon 2948.
Very interesting
it's the most
that you guys stayed around to figure that out.
Because I'm here?
Yes, of course.
Is that why it's most important?
No. It's because the booth is sponsored by Drake, and Drake is the sponsor of CitizenCon.
I'm going to turn this down a little bit so we figure out what these two clowns are talking about. No, they're cool people. But I want to say this. Do you think that that's going to be the price of the ships in the game there? Like, what is going on?
This is going to be something very special because no one has seen this yet, right?
Nobody has seen this yet. What are we looking at?
Model of the Kraken. I hope you guys already saw the trailer.
So that was the end of the keynote.
And I hope you liked it. Here's a schematic of the Kraken. You can see the
exactly, Tiger.
You can see the big ones as well. And let's see what else we got. Let's walk in here. Oh, it looks like there's a Kraken sales representative. Not too bad. How's it going? Pretty good. Oh, can I get that mic?
There might be other ways that you can get the credits, I'm sure. And there should be some like credit transfer between players.
What is Drake doing at the CitizenCon here?
Well, Drake is showing off its first ever capital ship, which is the Kraken, a mobile strike carrier. Builds on the famous Drake formula of versatility. So it can be a ship carrier, it can be a combat vessel, whatever you want it to be.
What does the Kraken what makes the Kraken so special?
Well, one, its versatility, but also it's got 8 docks. You can land Buccaneers on it. You can land all kinds of different ships. It's got different.
All right, I don't want to listen to this guy talking about the Kraken right now, even though it looks like a very interesting ship to me because I love Drake. But I think I want to talk about this a little bit more. So, you know, like other ways that we can make money during this is to actually grind the missions, which grinding missions should pay proportionate amount of money depending upon, you know, the actual mission itself. So the more involved the mission is, the more risky the mission is, the more dangerous the mission is, the more it should pay you, period. Otherwise, people will get angry because of the value of the ship. Now, we don't know if the value of the prospector, for instance, is going to be set at 1.4 million. So let me just preface that. But if that's some kind of indication of where SIG they think that the prospector needs to be priced at, that means a lot of hours on missions that we just saw that gave us an idea of risk versus reward. You saw what they were thinking about pricing that particular mission at 4,000 credits. That was some risky stuff once the AI gets finished, obviously, because some of those guys were just standing around janky as fuck and not doing anything. But that particular mission only garnered $4,000 worth of credits, going to a prospector for 1.4 million. Wow, that takes a long time. So then you have to ask yourself, are there going to be missions that have risk versus reward that is really going to give you the value that you need to get a ship in game, to buy a ship in game with in-game credits? This is a very interesting talk right now. This is a very interesting talk. What's up, Cromwell? Welcome to the stream, man. Glad to see you here. The other thing that I think is going to be important is that they actually have a way in which you can direct your own funds to other players' funds. So like, for instance, like just to be able to give, like, say I'm playing with Arcane and I'm like, hey, Arcane, I'm going to shoot you over 30,000 credits if you do XYZ for me. And that's what I want to do for the organization as well, is like give you organization based missions that will pay you better than NPC based missions. Super important for gaming, super important for Star Citizen. Any type of game where you have a multiplayer platform where you're dealing with other people, you want to make sure that you have a direct system in which you can execute transfers to another player. It's really important. It's what gets people involved. It gets what people immersed into the game is, hey, I can pay you if you do XYZ. Of course, what you do is dependent upon, you know, your own risk and reward, what you're willing to risk. Because, for instance, again, me offering you credits in game and being able to transfer you those credits, you're also going to think to yourself, you know, hey, like, do I want to do this? Do I want to risk my own ship? Is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be worth it for me to do? Because this ship cost me like 1, 2, 3 million credits in the game. And DG's only offering me like 100,000 credits, right? But that 100,000 credits is a sure hell of a lot better than a 4,000 credits, you know. Now let's get back. Let's get back to here. Oh my God, this is just blowing my mind right now.
Modeling scale, so it kind of 28 mil
yes.
tall, the little
yes.
people.
Yes, exactly,
deck,
Darth.
So it just kind of gives you that sense of how big she actually is. So
very well done. It's a great model. Thank you so much.
No, that's cool. We've had a fantastic team work with us. Yeah, first time we've ever done sort of 3D printing, and yeah, all of the guys that have worked with us have come from within the community. So that's been really, really nice. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for the interview.
No worries.
All right. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Can I give you the microphone? And
yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. So you just saw the Kraken reveal?
Oh yeah.
What do you think of the trailer?
Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to be wiping my wallet for this. Everyone always wants a carrier. I feel like this is the first carrier actually made for civilians. Obviously, Drake has a massive history of catering to civilians. Civilians are always asking for something to carry other ships around. I was hoping, as you can see, I've got the Kraken logo down here, and looks like Drake finally came through for us. We've actually got something for the civilians. Finally, you know, military UE can rest a bit easy. People trying to buy those surplus Idrises, and finally we've got this thing right here.
So you've kind of been waiting for a ship like this for a long time now.
Like, you know, we heard originally, oh, it'd be like a strip mall, essentially. It'd be like some sort of, you know, Banu merchantman just for humans. Now we've actually got something to call our own. We actually have the carrier people have been asking for years. So Idris can step aside, Javelin can step aside, Drake's actually back
I'm so glad you guys are here today. Thanks for stopping in today. I'm still having a blast with you guys.
Right? You know, like you could say I might be a little bit of a Drake fan. I mean, you might be able to call me biased, but I think that bias is probably rooted in actual fact now.
What do you like most about Drake?
The reliability. Really, like, it's something cheap, it's something reliable. It's something that you know is going to work on a budget. I mean, you know, they got their start trying to actually compete in the Volksfighter program back in 2845. Wildcat.
I love Drake. Drake's my favorite ship manufacturer, just because
the thing about it is,
they look so
we got the Cutlass out of it. No one remembers the Wildcat.
Sketch. They look so
Cutlass
sketchy.
That came through the AS1 led to the incorporation.
Hey, Joker.
And
oh, you missed something huge, dude.
They
Joker.
help out, you know, the little man. They help out everybody.
We saw prices on ships. We saw 1.6 million on a Prospector, Joker, and it brought about a really interesting discussion and conversation, much more interesting than what these two are talking about right now. And we got to figure out, like, 1.6 million, is that where they're thinking that the ship price should be? And then that also gets us into a discussion about should they be able to kind of, they're almost putting the figure in there without any player intervention, without any player valuation. Will we have an effect on ship pricing? Will players have an effect on ship pricing? If we don't, I would say this might be an argument why you want players to have an effect on ship pricing, because if they're just putting in a 1.4 or 1.6, I can't remember, price on the Prospector, and they're just carte blanche putting it on there, right? And we just saw that one mission garnered 4,000 credits. That's a lot of time put into it. Then A, they should have player-to-player transactions built into this so that we can send credits to each other. B, they should consider the fact that, like, perhaps a player-run economy would be slightly better to evaluate, like, a ship like the Prospector. You know, Prospector is a mining ship. That gives us an idea, you know, of kind of where their brain is at, because they know that the ship's going to bring in money. They know that the ship is a money maker, but they know it's not very well defended. You're pretty much a vulnerable, you're very vulnerable in that particular type of ship. You're very vulnerable in a Prospector compared to other ships. That is going to be a game changer if they don't let some type of player valuation be inserted into this, because in my opinion, 1.6 million for a Prospector in game is pricey as hell. And then that also leads me to a conclusion, why I'm hypothesizing, that I'm thinking, hey, wait a second. If the ship's 1.6 million in the game, that's going to take a lot of time to make in-game credits. I'm going to just have to buy the ship. I'm just going to have to buy it with real-life money. Are they making it so that we have to buy it with real-life money? Dudes and dudettes.
That is correct.
Yeah, it's for the people that are far fancier than Ulfra.
Named after the highest rank in the Navy. Can't go higher than Legatus.
So yeah, welcome back to CitizenCon 2948. We have just completed.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know, Tiger.
So I'm here.
We don't know.
With,
You're absolutely
lead
right.
writer Will Weisbaum. We are joined.
These are all just me hypothesizing right now, you know. But that's like Tiger saying. There could be missions that offer you a lot more. But even at 20,000 credits on a mission, you're still spending a lot of time to get that bank. You're still spending a lot of time to get that bank. They better make mining very lucrative. Absolutely right.
It's been a work in progress for, I mean, several months now.
I mean, really, when Chris came out and said that he
you're welcome, Joker. That's what I do, man. I'm like looking at it for what it is, right? I mean, that's what people come to me for, is that I'm seeing what they're saying, but then I'm seeing what they're saying, and I'm letting you guys know it, because you won't hear this from
Chris talked about that earlier.
The White Knights.
We did have
you will
some minor
not hear this from the White
broadcast
Knights
problems
at all.
with our streaming partner, and we remedied them by going back to Twitch, our tried and true Twitch.
Exactly,
so,
and Rose right.
Twitch, we love you, and thank you for being.
No, they're just bullshitting right now. They're not even saying anything interesting. So here's another interesting thing. Rose says the more players I can earn with, the better. That's absolutely the right mentality to have, Ro. The more people that you're teaming up with, you have the better options of actually making more cash with. And that's what you're going to have to do in game. Is it's going to lend itself in a way to having much more kind of like multiplayer experiences with other people. And then I think if you do it that way and you're very active within organizations and your organization leader has some type of clear-cut plan, that you could make money faster in game. You can make credits faster in game, but at what rate? And, you know, you have to imagine the amount of time that it's going to take, especially, I mean, like the Prospector's a smaller mining ship. It's a cool mining ship, but it's not like a huge mining ship. There's the Orion in the game, which is the very large. God, could you imagine what the Orion would cost? Holy shit, man, that would take forever. So this is a really interesting talk that we're having about, you know, in-game pricing, how it's going to be priced. Very cool. Let's see if they're saying something interesting now.
20 wolf hearts, and you know it's going to be that. Like,
right.
It keeps you on your toes, which is a fun kind of element with these types of missions.
A cornerstone of every MMO is the poop quest, the poop fetch quest. Are we going to have one of those?
Baguano.
Yeah, Baguano.
Yeah. We already have you picking up biological waste in 3.2, so
that's true. That's true. All right.
We're well ahead of the curve.
Yeah. All right. So
come on, guys.
We are live here at the Long Center in Austin, Texas. One of the big changes this year is our dual stream. We have dual tracks of presentations. Right now, the second track of presentations started. They got their start at 3 o'clock. So, or they got their start shortly after 3 o'clock, or they're getting their start right now.
Where's the other one
We're
at?
hearing some conflicting reports. They will be starting immediately as folks begin to filter in there. You can still view it at robertspaceindustries.com. You go to robertspaceindustries.com, click on CitizenCon, and you'll see 2 tracks. You'll see the main stage, which is where we are here, and then you'll see the second stage, where we've got presentations by Tony Zurovic. We've got presentations
I want that one.
on the player hab system and the modular building system by Luan Vettoretti, if I can. Forgive me.
All right, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second.
And we even have a panel coming up with the 2 of you later today, don't we?
Yeah, can we talk more about this second stage? I really think that's what people came to the stream on the main stage to hear about. Yeah. We do have a live lore makers.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We're really delving into the subject of Austin barbecue, and I'm really looking forward to it.
We will be doing a live brisket panel.
And smoking.
What you will actually get to see in the other channel, we have just like we did last year. We're doing the. I'm hearing Ulf in my
What's
head.
going on here?
What was that?
That happens
What's the buffer?
Too.
Yeah.
Enough with this buffer.
Was that our 2-minute warning? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Be sure you check out the second stage. There's all kinds of programming today. We're going to continue. We're going to try our best to get back on track here after our demo ran longer.
With the principles of flight.
With the principles of flight. John Crew and
there's
David
so
Colson,
many people on the site.
I'm
just getting buffer.
Just a few moments. Stay tuned.
Give me a second, guys. Give me a second here. If you guys got some links, let me know and throw them in the chat so I can hit the links up, because these links, this is not working for me. That was a little creepy. See Disco's face that like Oh, do I have to pay? Is this the part where I have to pay? Maybe that should be the end for us. Hold on a second. Something's happening. Pay to see the rest of the stream, right? Is that it? That might be it, guys. If that's it, I think that might be it. I'm getting nothing but blackness on this screen. It's not refreshing. It's not doing anything. All right, guys. I think we'll end it there. You guys go find another stream where it's showing you some amazing stuff. Wait. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. We got something.
Use right now, because obviously you do have cloth on characters and stuff in the game already. But it's a pendulum simulation versus a vertex simulation. Just show you guys the differences between the two. We'll show you a bit of the actual workflow that we're using and that he's still developing right now, so that the artist can work on this a little bit faster. And then we'll show you a little demonstration of a multi-layered cloth. So this is the thing that we couldn't.
Okay, hold on. We got some cool talk here. Hold on a second.
And then finally, we'll talk about some of the physics of the future.
Kali doesn't ever want me to leave.
That's a nice one. We can that one.
Kali.
All right. So why do we want to simulate things physically? Now, using physics simulation at runtimes in games.
Okay, and I'm loading the other one, and you guys can tell me which one you guys want to watch here.
When placed in dynamic environments. So what do I mean by a dynamic environment? Dynamic weather and wind. It needs to kind of support things like weather effects.
Yeah, Mosquito.
You need to be able to do player collision. You need to be able to react to explosions.
Mostly it's all on their side there, Arcane, because they've got so much traffic hitting them.
All kinds of things that will change around it. So you can't just pre-can an animation asset and do that.
I'm loading up the other stage, and we'll see which one's more interesting, and we'll watch the more interesting one.
And things like this. So we had to solve all of these.
6 token Canadian.
So generally when activity is going on near the objects, it should be reacting appropriately. The other thing to why do you
this guy needs to let it all go. This guy just needs to shave his head all the way.
One pity laugh. All right. So let's get right to it. So this
we got the other screen.
Is about the new
rigging to animation, back to design, and finally in the game.
Who's excited for that? No. Who's excited for that? Okay. All right. Well, then I guess.
Okay, guys. So we got this. We got the main stage. You guys are going to decide. We got the main stage. Okay. We got this guy talking right now who's trying to hype everybody up. Talking about Flight. Okay. That has 19,000 viewers.
Sean Crew with the cool pants. Next up, David
Or we
Colson.
have this one.
Come on out.
That has 1,500 viewers. And they're talking about...
So,
right, gentlemen.
it's not that this
Have a good
isn't
time.
revolutionary by any stretch, but we did have access to similar things. But there were big assumptions
game
that
features during interactive sessions.
You all care about flight.
And the biggest assumptions of the pre-existing entities were things like assuming Z up.
I'm trying to figure out which ones are who to do. Which ones do you guys want to watch? There's one about flight.
And ultimately,
I'm kind of interested about flight mechanics, honestly.
So they just weren't suitable at our scale, nor for the performance implications that we have. So we'd already tried a few techniques previously, but they've either proved too expensive, and I'm sure you've seen them within demos.
Decisions.
So I think we'll just
things like this.
dive
They were
straight
either
into
too
it.
expensive to run on a planet,
This is what matters
or the
to everyone.
tools and entities just didn't
what's
work
next
anymore.
for Flight and Star Citizen.
Generally, we
And I
didn't
think,
really have a planet-side location that needed a lot
Since say
of this.
2.6,
So it wasn't
we
as
haven't
big of a
really
deal, but now
had
with
what we
Thurston, as
wanted
you've
out of
seen,
this.
There's wind,
We could do
there's
a lot better, and we
atmosphere,
sort of
there's
got
lots of
this
stuff going on near these objects, so it's very
this vision for how we want it, and so we've sort of
So,
gone
and again,
back
thanks to our
Okay,
amazing
we'll go
work
back
by
and forth. We'll go back and
in
forth.
Frankfurt,
Let's listen to this first.
New implementations are now usable by Art and Design for things like constraints, soft bodies, environment cloth, and last but not least, character cloth. All right.
Let's give him like 3-4 minutes and then we'll switch over.
So as you saw already in the demo, we have wind on planets. So even tweakable to each of the planets.
Wind on planets. Wait, I'm interested about this.
Really cool.
Ecosystems.
So this was created by our planet technology team. This helps give tons more movement and life to otherwise a really static environment. If you saw those trees just sitting there, not moving at all, it would take you back to the early 2000s, even early 90s of games where the stuff just didn't move around. As mentioned previously, this whole wind system, it did exist, and we had wind for levels. But again, this would only...
We knew about dynamic weather. In fact, we were fighting for dynamic weather on the channel a year and a half ago, and then they put it in.
So the wind, in the end, has to be relative to this a spherical position on the planet. So you can imagine how that's actually a little bit difficult. So changes were mostly related to making that work in 3D on a sphere. So the second type of wind, well, I'm sorry, let me show you a quick video here. So this is the savanna biome that you saw a little bit of. I'm actually right behind, right in front of the crashed satellite in this particular video. And I just wanted to do a quick pan because you see how much life already that brings. So you see leaves moving in the wind. You see it affecting the particles. You see it affecting the grass. And again, this is the wind flowing through. This just happens. So now, again, this is set on a per biome level. But even at a per biome
They're not
level,
showing it,
that
though.
scale is pretty gigantic.
Come on. There we go.
So now, on a much more isolated level, we have a new type of wind that all mixes in within the planet wind. And it's supported. It's called the wind area entity. So this is what you see an image of here and here. So the wind area itself physically simulates the air with a given resistance, viscosity, and it moves in a user-defined direction at a user-defined speed. And users, meaning the designers, basically. They can select this entity and set all of these things really, really quickly. So generally, if
how is that dynamic?
The wind source moves omnidirectionally, and that's what you see on this image here. It's actually a sphere of wind. So this is all emanating from a single point outwards. And then if you give it a direction, you can see that we have these nice little debug arrows, and that's going to actually give it a very specific direction that it is. So this gives the designers the ability to actually localize their wind a lot more realistically. The other thing we do with these is we like to attach them to things. Those things like the back of the
Okay, so they're putting it into the game. They're putting that into the game.
So both of
we're
these
gonna go
eventually need to work into the weather system.
Hold on
that
one
Chris
second,
Roberts
guys.
is obviously very keen for us to start working on. But these are the stepping stones into something like this.
To talk in depth about.
Okay, so let's talk a little.
Okay. Oh wait, let's see what he's talking about.
Extended cloth entity.
We'll start with controls.
So sometimes
right
animation is suitable to do, especially if the player's not going to be near it or no one's going to really affect it.
You may have noticed
but again,
on
it kind of has to go.
videos there we've changed the way the throttle works.
It's really, it's not that great because it's not affected by dynamic.
Okay, they're going to talk about cloth and the effects of cloth with wind. Let's go over here to flight real quick. They're talking about the throttle. Giving you guys both at the same
left side of the
time.
Now, or left side of the HUD, you now have a speed bar.
That's how I do it.
Moving your speed up and down by pressing W and S, say for mouse and keyboard. We'll get to HOTAS in a second, promise me. But yeah, so as you can see, like if you press W and then you immediately let go, the ship stops accelerating. That's unlike what we had previously, where you had this kind of defined speed range, and you press W and S to move the target speed up and down that range. But we don't have that range anymore, right? So the speed just moves up and down depending on whether you're accelerating your thrusters or not.
Well,
and
that's really interesting,
subtle,
actually.
But I promise you, this is a really significant change, and it changes how you're going to have to fly.
Yeah.
But
Do you
there's
guys
another
like that?
important part to this, which I haven't quite got to. The dot on the speed bar there is the target velocity that the coupled mode flight is trying to get you toward, right? So if you turn, your speed is going to change.
Okay, I like it.
Your forward speed is going to change from that dot and what that dot is supposed to be. And coupled mode essentially amounts to moving your speed toward that dot. It wants your forward velocity to be.
Well, I know that is flying. That's not too different from what it is right now.
Mode and
but the throttle is meaning that you would, if you're a keyboard guy,
mode,
you're going to have to hold W down, and if you're a
is you get this like a
if you're a thrustmaster dude, you're going to have to like
pushing like
hold your throttle down.
Flight out of decoupled, which is not.
This is interesting.
So, looking at the other side of the HUD there,
this is very interesting, actually. We'll go back to the other one soon here. I just want to watch a little bit more of this.
To finally control your thrust power, lets you manage your accelerations. So this sets how strong your thrust is in all axes when IFSS is trying to move your ship, and it gives you that fine control. So if you don't want to go,
I feel like they've worked on the sounds a little bit. What's up, Wizard? Welcome to the stream, man.
Move at a much slower rate.
Good to see you here.
Faster, just scroll it back up again. So we obviously talked about mouse and keyboard. Let's have a look at HOTAS.
Yeah, so the way this works in HOTAS is
you'd have to
if you're using a not bidirectional throttle, which you can do, thrusting forward will increase the amount of acceleration that your thrusters are giving. So you can hear that as you push your thrust forward, you get more acceleration as you stop, and that speed is moving further up the bar, right? And then if you want a retro thrust, you have the retro thrust on a button, and this kind of acts a bit like space brake. So you would press this button, and you're going to have your retro thrusters fire.
Okay, I like
and pull that speed back again.
I like that
Here's another
change.
shot of this. You can hear the.
That's much more realistic,
thrusters
at least.
increasing in
I
strength
think
as
so
you
from
move
the
that HOTAS
initial,
up.
from what I'm gathering
The other
initially
option here is to have a bidirectional thrust. So you can actually have 0 thrust effectively be the center setting on the throttle if you have a throttle that has like an indent in the middle. And then you can pull back to go backwards or fire retro thrust and push forward to fire forward thrust. This is kind of significant because
I wish they would blow up the screen there.
If you pulled back on your throttle, it would move that target speed down, which would make you slow down. But that's actually not what's happening now. If you pull back on your HOTAS, you're effectively killing thrust on the main thrusters, and you're
As it
carrying on
should be.
traveling at that speed.
The retro thrust, when you like slam it back.
Button.
Right, right.
So I think let's talk
That's
about
very realistic in terms of
specifically
flight
AB2
mechanics.
That's that second stage of Afterburner. So
Much better. Much better.
It's gone. So thought I'd make a few people
Wow,
happy.
Afterburner is gone.
No longer do you just hold shift to get up to cruise speeds. There's that weird bit in the middle where you're like, is it going? Is it not going? Oh, no, it's going. Oh, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So no more scaling your accelerations back. No more kicking you out when you move. So that's Afterburner. What about Boost?
Well, Boost is now correctly called Afterburner.
They're just
so yeah, now you
change
press
the
shift
terminology.
and you will essentially you're firing boost, right? So you're going to get more acceleration out of the ship. And this is not related to going to cruise speeds. This is literally the same as boost was, right? You're going to do this, and you're going to.
I do too, Yigo. I do too, dude.
More acceleration out of your ship.
So far.
Now there
So
has been
far
a
from what I'm
previous
hearing.
issue with boost where it's overused, shall we say, with some people taping it down. I've heard this is a
we
thing
know
that
about
happens.
you guys taping Boost down just for
Yeah,
benefits.
so we wanted a consequence to using boost.
I think that's
so
a
we're
good
actually gonna
idea.
Get back to that in a little bit because we need to.
Wear
go
and
over
tear on the
something
ship.
else first.
There shouldn't be so much boost. There
So,
should be a lower capacity for
how do we
burn.
cruise now? Now we've got rid of AB2. Well, you literally just freely accelerate up to cruise speeds in any direction, coupled or decoupled. So let's have a look at it in action.
That makes
So,
it much more
here in the
realistic.
Aurora, I'm just
That
holding
actually makes it
W
much
at
more
this point,
realistic.
accelerating past, you see, I'm going to go past the.
It's gonna
the
change
SCM speed.
the current
and the ship
model
just keeps accelerating.
quite a
Obviously,
bit.
In coupled, this is happening with just accelerating forward, but you can actually do this with any of the strafe axes as well, and you can do this in decoupled. You literally just accelerate for as long as you need, and you go up to the top speed of the ship, which is pretty much the same as the cruise
Yeah,
speeds
exactly,
we had
Mark
previously.
One. Exactly.
Though there is another change that's kind of
I
important.
would highly
here.
recommend a
When you
HOTAS
go
because
past
eventually,
the safe maneuvering speed of the ship,
I think that
coupled will
it's
start
worth the
limiting
investment.
your angular velocity.
But
And
not
this
now.
is kind of something we
Not
had
now.
a while
Later.
ago in cruise.
Once we're sure.
And this is kind of a feature of coupled because.
But you can see
being,
the work that they're putting into the flight, and I'm glad that they've put this kind of change
to move
into
you around.
effect.
You're just going to
personally.
drift for miles and miles and miles. So this is kind of like you could think of it as a safety feature of coupled that's saying, hey, you're not really going to be able to practically turn at these speeds because you're going to drift so much. So I'm going to limit your turn speed to try and keep you from drifting. Now, if you turn on decoupled, this is not actually the case.
Yep. So where you going?
Oh no! Did they that was the greatest. The last thing we heard was, oh, what are you doing? And then they went down. Hold on a second. Let's see if they totally. Hold on. There we go.
There. I'm in decoupled. I'm going all over the place. If you were to go back into coupled at this point, you're going to have a huge amount of slide. Obviously, you've got that huge velocity going there.
Yeah, I think so, Yigo.
Yeah,
I think
they're
so,
two
dude.
different flight modes. They behave very differently. You don't have to use both. You can use one or the other.
I think it's really cool as well that, previously getting into cruise speeds in decoupled was kind of a pain because you'd have to be going in a perfectly straight line.
Yes.
But because we've removed that restriction, this is just no longer
I liked it.
Decoupled
Like
works so much
personally,
better like this.
I've always liked decoupled.
So,
and
you
a
might
lot of
wonder,
people would disagree
if
with me,
you're just
but like
flying
I
around,
feel like decoupled mode is
what if you
actually
don't
more
wanna go up to
realistic
these speeds?
flying.
What if you don't want to, You don't want to be at these speeds where you're having your angular velocity limited, and it's
I think they need more focus on ground units and vehicles.
Is a speed limiter.
Completely, Darth. I talk about
so
that.
You can press this button, and it will hold your ship into
when the talk come out.
Speed that
talked about ground combat. Check out that video if you're interested, Darth Tank. It's called Ground Combat.
Like a safety. We call it
I think you like
safety. It. So we'll just have a
look come on, guys. There we go. All right.
So you're traveling at a cruise speed, and you press the SCM safety button, and that will bring up these two triangles on your speed bar, and this is going to hold you inside a certain speed range where we can pretty much make sure that you're not going to drift too much. And we'll reevaluate those speeds for all the ships to kind of keep you from sliding too much and keep you from getting into territory where the ship's just very difficult to control.
I love that they're using an
Aurora. This is on by default. You can obviously change that in the settings. And we expect that the more experienced pilots will be able to fly with this off, and they can sort of edge up to the higher speeds.
The more experienced pilots are going to definitely use the decoupled.
Hard cap, like it's a range of velocity and speed. You're still going to slide in those ranges.
Yeah, you just slide less when you're going slower.
No, it looks like it's become a little bit more difficult, Arcane.
At the start,
it looks like, but that's a good thing because it's much more realistic, but in the decoupled mode.
Reactive and systemic. What does that mean? So
you're right, Tank. Well, it's not the most popular; it's the most affordable. Right, Tank?
Like all the rest. That means they now behave with power, fuel, heat. They all
like Nori.
With all the other
Nori loves to fly in decoupled mode. You can see him flying in a lot of my videos.
The two would meet. That's not the case now. So another thing we want to talk about is having a grounding for how these thrusters work in reality, which we can go over.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do with thrusters is base them on some real-life fiction that we can sort of take forward into the future. And that was these things called Vasimir engines, which I can barely remember what they stand for. I think it's Variable Specific Impulse Magnetoplasma Rocket. That's what it is. Yeah. So this is a real-life rocket technology that is sort of going through a lot of testing as a potential future interstellar or intersolar.
NASA got them on things.
Yep. So the idea basically is that you're going to ionize a fuel, like some gas like argon or something. So you're going to use lots of power to create this ionized plasma, and this is going to generate loads and loads and loads of heat. And then you will accelerate the plasma with really strong magnets to generate thrust. And
Very
so this
Star
kind of
Trek.
gives us a really good basis to make all the thrusters work off of this. So if we have a sort of defined thrust capacity,
it's kind of one of the reasons why I love
and this is their performance
to see like the inside looks on the designs because they're using real life
draw power and generate heat
applications,
and
real life
thrust based on this fiction. We can kind of make this a really systemic
to make like an
believable
in-game
system that sort of works
believable
under
system.
some future version of a real thrust system. So we'll take a look at this.
So we're going to look at this in action. We do a lot of this by looking at the MFDs, just because it's a really clear way of showing it in a presentation format. So as you can see now, every thruster has a little item on the power UI.
Wow.
And they draw power dynamically as the thrust is given to them to move the ship. Fuel is the same as this. Just imagine the power from post fuel, it's the same.
God, what?
And as you're flying around here, you can see your main thrusters going up, using more power.
Wow.
The heat goes up as well with them.
You can see each thruster behind here as it's being activated.
Let's have a look.
Showing
like
the amount of thrust
you can move the
on that particular axis.
So you can.
Dude, Blaine, we already talked about it. I don't know why you're on other people's streams. We've been talking about it here, dude, for a long time.
Accordingly, so here I've reduced the power capacity on the rear thrusters, and this also affects heat.
It's one of the biggest talks we had here on this stream, Blaine.
Thrusters are going to generate less heat. Afterburner is actually just a facet of this system. It's just a shortcut straight into overpower mode. And overclocking is then another level.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I gotta unmod Blaine. He's basically going to other channels, not watching this.
More wear.
And then he's advertising other people's inadvertently.
They all just work together.
Headache, Blaine.
Thrusters burn less fuel.
Swear to God, you give me a headache,
more
dude.
heat. If you're running low on fuel, you can throttle your thrusters down.
Thank you, Tank. Thank you.
That more performance.
Fucking
and this
Blaine.
This is all part of a system.
Blaine is like my number one headache inducer here.
You can just fly around to your heart's content and go, oh.
And I love it too, because like Blaine and a few others will be like, "Oh, he's a grumpy old man," but shit, dude, if you had your own stream and you just shit on somebody else's stream,
yeah. So this gives us those consequences. So let's have a look.
So this is what I was saying earlier with the consequence to.
That's okay, Colleen. Just get more active.
So if you do that, what will happen is your thrusters will start overheating. And the more and more
you should have been here, man. We were talking about it, dude.
They're going to get.
We're talking about flight now, man.
Immediately, if you start overheating, we're not going to cut out your thruster. I think that's a bit mean. But we will immediately have the thrusters start struggling to give the thrust.
That's okay, Colleen. Don't worry.
This is simulated dynamically.
You guys are too worried about that shit.
For example, are overheating.
It's just a fake green animated sword badge.
You're actually going to feel.
But to be one, you have to actually.
If you have a penchant for like strafing left everywhere in the game,
yeah, exactly,
that side's going to suffer.
So you will actually feel that the ship is not thrusting to the left as strong as it is to the right because you've been overheating.
Yes, yes, Tiger, you're right.
So we'll take a look at this. So right now, you're flying around perfectly normally, and then you press shift to
all right, let's see.
Afterburn, and you'll see you're getting overpowered here. Now, for the sake of showing this, we've massively increased the wear number. So the wear number is that middle number. The freelancer,
dude. They're doing a freelancer on maneuvers. I love it.
So you overheat your thrusters too much, that number is going to start going up. Again, don't worry, it's faster here than it will be in the game. And you can see that the thrusters are starting to not use as much power as they were. I think that the ideal behavior here is that they actually draw as much power as they would have, but you're just not getting the same amount of thrust out of the thruster. So you continue afterburning like this, your thrusters get weaker and weaker and weaker, and you'll immediately start feeling the ship get more and more sluggish because you're just, you know, you're damaging the thrusters by doing this.
Yeah, completely. And the whole idea of like creating EM missiles that will disable engines, be able to like stop a ship in its track, and then to have like ship on ship where you're trying to get into the ship on larger ships and having like in-game ship fights like inside the ship that you're trying to hijack is going to be really fun, really fun if they implement it correctly.
They're not going to respond when you want them to respond.
Yeah,
they're generally going to make flights.
Yeah, exactly, Crom.
We talked about changing thrusters out, different thruster sets.
All right, I'm going to go to the other one real quick. Let's just see what they're talking about on the other CitizenCon stream here. Let's see. Oh, it's offline. The second stage is offline. Oh, wait, hold on.
If you cheap out and
yeah, I think the second stage is offline.
Shelf items, then you're going to hit this more. You're going to experience this in game. Your ship's going to be shaking around, feeling unresponsive. But generally, this is not something you want to happen second to second. This is, you've worn your thrusters out. You've done lots of stuff for a long time. Playing not very well.
Yep.
And this is.
So why are people tripping out about the prices of the ships? I feel it's a grind.
So
and that you have to work up to it. The more no, you missed it, Wizard. They priced the Prospector at 1.6 million credits. Now we don't know if that's actually what they're going to do because the economy doesn't exist. But they priced it up at 1.6 million. And you know, missions that we watched gave you 4,000, even at 10,000, even at 20,000, even at 50,000. Hell, even at 100,000. That's 16 missions, but they're not going to go that high. Missions, I probably would tell you, the highest generated mission is probably going to be around 10. Just my
really low.
Just me throwing out a figure based upon what I'm thinking the designers are feeling, and that means that that's going to be a lot. It's basically forcing you to buy a ship. Basically forcing you to buy a ship. We just had this talk though, so I'm not going to be repetitive. I'm going to put this on YouTube for people interested in the talk we had here on the channel because it was very extensive and it was very long.
Throttle your thrust capacity. You don't need to go in your MFDs like flying around doing this, trying to work out what's going on.
Oh yeah, 28's really lowballing it. If a Prospector's 1.6, a Kraken's going to be fucking ridiculously expensive. Ridiculously expensive.
To spending your life looking at little screens.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's even more we can do here.
And that, yeah, that wasn't the Kraken. I don't think they showed the Kraken.
Straightforward enough.
The price we saw was on the Prospector at one point.
We can just push this to limit.
4 million?
We can say, hey, if someone shoots your thruster, we can start reducing its power output and its strength. And this is kind of this level of dynamic flight behavior. We just
the hammerhead. He's talking about the hammerhead.
So we take a look at this inside the freelancer.
But we've already talked about that. There's no sense in continuing to talk about something that we've already talked about.
A Gladius is going to shoot some thrusters. It's already shot the one on the right there. The more and more you do this, you can see the thruster is starting to get damaged. And you will immediately feel this in the handling of the ship. So the idea here, so you can see these two thrusters have been damaged. If you try and move, you're just not going to get the strength.
There we go. Realistic damage to thrusters, making it much more difficult if your thrusters are damaged. Then you've got to fly the ship.
I think currently, people just go straight for the cockpit if they know what they're doing.
Hallelujah.
But actually, it could actually be another strategy.
So here we're actually seeing, and this is what he's just about to say, as a strategy on disabling a ship is to target just the thrusters. That way you can disable the movement of the ship in any particular type of direction that you want. Whether you can pinpoint that type of accuracy on the ship's thruster is another issue that I have not been able to see yet within the gameplay. While playing and fighting other ships in Star Citizen, I don't have that kind of pinpoint accuracy to just hit thrusters. Perhaps they'll do something about that, whether they do some type of missile or EM missile or some type of particular weapon that targets just the thruster. These are just ideas that I'm throwing out there. But the thrusters, when they are damaged, will actually alter the ability of you to fly your ship. This is great. They return and rebalance every ship.
Is we've gone over every single ship in the game and rebalanced them and retuned how the ships fly. This kind of, I feel like this is kind of a subtle thing for a lot of people, but I think for the people who really know the details of flying, this is a huge, huge deal.
That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
The goals here were to try and get some more variety between the ships and try and feel more momentum in the ships and feel more character between them. So we're going to go through and we're going to create like a systemic system for deciding what thrusters and what size of thrusters are going to get certain thrust capacities. And so that across all of the ships, we sort of have this unified balance of how ships feel and how they get thrust assigned to each direction.
The momentum part is key here. Like at the moment in the game, maneuvering thrusters have like absurd amounts of power to them. And this changes that significantly.
In 3.3, there are actually ships that have like these tiny little maneuver thrusters and these giant main thrusters, and the maneuver thruster has more thrust than the mains. So no more of that. We're going to make this a lot better.
I like that dude on the right. He seems to be very into the
mechanics
of flight.
The Gladius has these two really big thrusters. Straight away, if I make a left turn, you can see how much more drift there is than there used to be. You really want to feel the momentum when you're moving a ship around.
I like that. You're feeling it as you're turning that way, slicing through. I dig it. For pilots, this is a big deal. For people who actually like flying,
so I think
this is a very big deal.
The Gladius has quite a few thrusters that can point downward.
That's a
you will
huge
actually
deal.
Feel differences.
Okay, that's a huge deal. Like, because this is going to give us the realism of flying these ships. We have not felt it. Like we say this all the time when we're flying inside of Star in the verse. We always say this. Nori and I have talked about this a lot of times, where like the ships don't feel like they're actually giving you the turn that you want. That it's not exactly the way that you would imagine it as you're flying. So this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
As you move around, it really I can't stress how cool it feels to have this momentum. It really makes flying, it makes it arguably more difficult.
So what?
But I think
we want it. We want the level of difficulty.
Fly really well.
Because it's real.
That's really cool.
Yes, very cool.
So I think we will.
I want the difficulty of flying. And I want, because it gives you the real feels. Hallelujah.
Hornet, in comparison to the Gladius, much beefier, much heavier. And it has weaker directions.
Oh yeah, did you see that? I can feel that move like that. That's nice.
Huge main engine.
Heavier. So you don't have this in the game right now.
Acceleration
see, this is the thing. This is the thing people get upset about, right? They're saying, well, this isn't in the game. Yeah. Here we can actually see in-game footage of it physically being tested. We know that it's going to come to the game. Now, it can't get in soon enough. The sooner that this type of gameplay is in there, the more people are going to want to play the game because it's giving you that feeling, that realistic realism, the realistic realism. That's a yeah, smart DG. Good. I'm starting to sound like Chris.
And see how it feels. I just want to do a tiny
realistic realism.
Participation.
Clip it.
How many of you have a Gladius? Stick your hands up.
It's not that many.
Not that many. How many of you have a Hornet?
It's a lot more.
Then let's look at another ship. How many people have an Aurora?
Like the whole room raises their hand on that one.
Yeah, the Aurora.
We'll take a look at the Aurora. So
Okay,
I think we've been kind of guilty of punishing the Aurora a bit too much.
Hell yeah, you have.
Making it pretty much useless in combat.
Yep.
And you know, it's still a starter ship, so it's still not going to be anywhere near as good as the Gladius and the Hornet. But using this new system of assigning thruster strengths, we can actually have it give some strengths. Like one of the big strengths of the ship is
exactly,
it's really,
Mark.
really light.
Exactly,
it's much
dude.
lighter than the Hornet. And so even though it has weaker thrusters overall, it actually has almost, I think it actually has slightly more acceleration in some straight directions than the Hornet.
This is so good for the game. This is so good for the game.
Not even close to as powerful main thruster. And so, you know, in the
So
Hornet,
you're seeing,
getting your back out and using the main thruster, you can't
it's
really
not
do that
whipping
as
you
much in the
around.
Aurora. It's just not quite good.
It's not whipping you around the same way as the Hornet was. You can see the difference in the flight mechanics as he's trying to whip it around. And because the thrusters aren't nearly as strong as the Hornet, you have more realism when you're turning with the Aurora. It makes it a slower kind of target, easier to hit. It's a starter ship, but you still get a level of play with the Aurora that you did not have before. It has a little bit more mobility to it than the older version of the Aurora, which should make some of the Aurora owners much happier. And at the same time, the more experienced combat pilots that are flying the Hornets, the Gladiuses, those types of ship, will also be happy because it's not going to be an easier target. It's not going to be just sitting there. Hell, I can dust an Aurora in under 5 seconds, dude. You know, like this should make it a little bit more like cat and mouse. This should make it a little bit harder to destroy, but not to the point where it makes the Aurora super overpowered, but gives it a little bit of touch that the Aurora pilots, and let's face it, a lot of players are Aurora pilots. So this is a nice tidbit of info for Aurora pilot owners.
In the ship, you had to go in each individual thruster XML and go put its force output in newtons.
Yep.
To do all those, then you had to reload the game, then you had to test it with no feedback on the times and the accelerations rate and go, yeah, that feels okay, or that feels terrible.
You know, gimbal thrusters, because we have gimbal thrusters, thrusters can give strength in lots of different directions, but not at the same time, right? And it makes it basically impossible.
Are they giving us
a?
They need to give us a timeline on when they're going to implement these flight mechanics in the game. I want to know. Like when?
So what we have now, if we run back to the editor, so here's the editor. So we have this new tool here, which is the IFCS editor tool.
Frame rate's at 112.
This is going to allow us to do live editing.
But they have supercomputers, so keep that in mind.
I'm going to spawn a Gladius here.
It's interesting.
But this might be, they're operating under the new OCS, by the way. You guys need to know this. They're operating under the new OCS that was implemented on 3.4 kind of PTU.
So we have these dev tools now, which we
right there, and you're seeing like over 170. Now that things are moving around, you're seeing like a 70 frame per second. That gives us an idea. The frame rates on potato computers should be boosted as well.
Red and blue cross in the middle of the screen here. This is the thrust strength for linear thrust for this ship. So you can see you got 65.8 meters a second forward, minus 27 to the left and 27 to the right as well. So we have all the thrusters in a list here, right? So these are the thrusters. We can click on them, and they'll highlight where on the ship that is. And then we can actually hand edit the thrust capacities. So these are the main.
No, I mean 3.3.5 actually is the version, and then when OCS gets implemented in the avocados and what they're going to call it 3.3. So if you want to get technical about it, blame you.
There's no reloading of the editor or anything. This is immediate. You immediately feel the difference.
We have a lot of ships in the game, so if we have to reload the editor every time we want to do it, it adds minutes times hundreds of ships. it gets very long.
So to go the opposite, why don't we take some of these thrusters at the front here, and we're just going to make them really strong. We're going to...
Oh, shit. They're boosting the values of the thrusters.
So we now have 532,000 meters a second forward. So you can feel the difference in the roll is just immediate difference. We get up to speed really fast. So we have this live editing. Now, obviously, we mentioned earlier that hand editing thrust capacities is just kind of a no-no. I mean, you could do it, but it's basically impossible to guess what these
that's what I'm worried about, right? I mean, like, they need to get these things released in a timely manner.
We have this calculator here. We can enter the ship's desired handling. So I'm actually going to put these back to a sensible number for a second. Is that right? There we go.
Like, honestly, the flight mechanics and the OCS need to be, like,
15 meters a second
right away.
Forward Y direction of the ship.
As soon as possible. Can't come soon enough.
And this is different from where we are at the moment, where it's all based off goal times. This is a different way of doing this.
So you enter
it's big if those are the prices. That's under the conditions that is actually going to be the price in the game. And the other thing, Tiger, is why? Right? Why is it valued that way? That's something that nobody else is talking about. Why is it valued at that particular amount? Because they plugged it in. That's why. And that's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about from the very beginning. That these ships won't have actual players giving us pricing on the ships, that they're more NPC oriented, and SIG just plugs the price in that they want, and they'll keep it that rate because NPCs make it that rate for them, because they're programming the AI to trade in such a manner that the prices will stay at 1.6 forward prospector, and those prices stay at those particular prices indefinitely for as long as they want, because players won't have control over pricing and value. And that's something that I've always been pounding the table about here since the very beginning of talking about the economy of Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Fly down to a planet.
Pay close attention to the audio.
Yeah, the audio is fantastic here.
Oh yes, you hear that on the that's nice. The sound's got shit tons better entering the atmosphere. Very nice. And now you're hearing kind of the wind gliding past.
So there we go, atmospheric flash.
Oh, sorry about that. No, that's not my cursor. That's their cursor, Tank.
Well,
so now got lift. So
that's their cursor.
In the current version of the game, we do simulate drag, but we never got around to implementing lift. So now we have.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Another question to ask is, with all the wipe they will be doing, you get to 1.6 million before you get the ships they wipe. They will have to set up some type of persistence for money. Dude, there's a lot of questions, Wizard. There's a lot of questions in terms of economy. I could talk about economy the whole rest of this time that I'm online, dude. Everybody here knows that. And what I say makes sense, unlike a lot of other fucking people. Well, haven't they said the prizes would be affected by the actions of the player? Like a player stop all the minerals. You guys want to talk about this right now? You guys want to ditch the flight and talk about the economics of it all, since everybody else is? Because if you want to, we can get into a real big discussion about it. But I don't know if you're gonna like it, because I got a lot to say about it, and I've said a lot about it in the past. But I can go on and on and on until you guys' ears start to bleed on it.
So you see how hard we can turn. We actually start to black out.
What's up, Ryder? Welcome to the stream, dude.
That's blackout from the aerodynamic forces on the ship, which is not something you get in space.
Yeah, they're not moving the cursor. My cursor's not showing. That's their cursor, dude. It's really bothering Tank. Tank's like, move the goddamn cursor. Don't put that hand in there. It's ruining my immersion.
And you see
your
how
goddamn Windows pointy finger.
Into the wind. If you, for example, try and.
By the way, we're having a giveaway. Look in the chat over there. Schnozbot put it in there for you guys. If you aren't entered in the giveaway, we're giving away a Saber Raven here on DaGaimez, thanks to our awesome community, Cromwell.
Just to sort of get this.
Who is donating this to help us all grow, to become bigger, to become more well-known, to help us out, to get us the people that we deserve here on the channel, which is, you know, honestly, if you're watching me here,
lift area.
There's a reason why Cromwell's donating a saber for the entire community. That is to get more notice, not just for me, but for the people in our network, so that we can all elevate our game, become more professional. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I really do.
It flies a lot slower because it struggles to cut through the air. It's got a lot more instability.
No, the Raven giveaway is still going on, dude. There's like another 2 weeks to enter, bro.
It's just not doing it because it's hitting that wind and kicking back.
Okay, see you, Tiger. Thanks for joining us today on the stream, Tiger. Super appreciate you showing up, bro.
A lot more work just to do this, so they're running hotter. They're consuming more fuel.
Oh, lots happen here, Mosquito.
Like this all the time. You can get around this to an extent. Again, bring the thrust capacity down. You're going to be flying slower.
Oh, you want me to?
I should add that your thrusters are doing all this work when you have a
let's do this real quick, guys. Just so you guys know here, we're having a giveaway here on the channel for a Saber Raven giveaway. Let's do that. Let's do that real quick here. This is a Saber Raven giveaway video. Let me get out of the way here for a moment so you guys can check this out. Famous for another giveaway. This man, he just never stops. So there you guys go. That's the giveaway we're having for our Raven. It's still available. You guys can check it out on my channel here on DaGaimez, and like really appreciate you guys and everything that you've been doing here for all of us. Like I think we're gonna end it here for tonight. I wish I could have more coverage, but the kids need some food. And I'm telling you something, it's been an absolute pleasure hanging with everybody here today. I hope you guys get more involved with the games and the channel. I'll be releasing all the footage. I'll be releasing this in an entire video labeled CitizenCon with DaGaimez and fans today on my YouTube. It should be out tonight. You guys can see yourself talk in the video. Please spread and share the love so that you guys get more friends and you know, we grow this community together. Super appreciate all of you guys. Thanks again. If you guys enjoy the content, please check out the Patreon page. And it was a pleasure, guys. Thanks for joining me here today for CitizenCon. I'm going to be watching a hell of a lot more. You guys go find some other people and tell them how awesome DaGaimez is. And we'll keep on posting content for you guys. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. There's just no words for it. Thank you so much, guys. See you on the next stream. See you on the next vid. Time to cook for the kids now. Time to dad it up.